up on my Facebook. So, but yeah, I had it pulled up on the Facebook still. So.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so.
Yeah, I'll turn it up for it.
No, you're good. I was actually letting you jam out for a minute.
No?
Welcome to episode 17 of Two Beerded Guys. I am TBG_ops guy.
Mudhog B&Q.
With us today is Gunner. He is our episode 17 guest. John's known Gunner a while now. I'm pretty excited to have him on.
We've been going 10 years worth now, actually.
10 years, damn.
Yeah.
And we'll get into a little bit how they met and all that kind of stuff, but I'm excited to have him on. If you hear an annoying voice to my left today, Cameron is an off-screen personality.
What are you trying to say over there?
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
And behind the camera, the one, the only, he is off-screen Matt.
Hey, dish bitch.
Everybody's favorite. Everybody's favorite dish bitch. But no,
I think it's a short list.
It made me so happy today when I was doing that show with Sarah Burns on B&B TV, and she referred to Matt as Chris. It was awesome.
Did you just say Sarah made you happy?
Because she screwed it up.
Hi, Chris.
Yeah, it made you feel good that I got misnamed. Thanks.
Yeah.
You get too much credit. Like, you have your own fan club.
You do have your own fan club. We need to make an off-screen Matt shirt. I mean, we have the up north, but we need like a true off-screen Matt. We have enough pictures. We have enough pictures of those. I see Grace every Monday. I'll have her draw up next Monday a silhouette of him.
Yeah.
We'll probably have it available for next episode.
That'd be nice.
Knowing Grace.
If you're watching, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, say something. Let us know you're there.
Speaking of, Hecubus is on. I said, what's up?
What up, Russ?
Russell?
Oh, shit, Russ. I haven't sent you a beer yet.
Russell.
Every Monday.
Yeah, you keep sucking at that.
No, every other day I've got it down now. It's fucking Mondays. All right, so John, talk.
So while he's sending this beer of the night to Russell, basically Russell does the Turfs Up Radio nightcap show every Monday through Friday, and we are actually the best time to tune in and listen is going to be Thursday nights.
Well, absolutely.
When we go live at 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 Pacific, because he is Pacific time. But we appreciate Russell a lot.
Funny dude. Is that Pacific time or
hilarious.
specific time? Like it starts specifically at?
Pacific. 5:15. It starts at 5 Pacific. Or Pacific.
That damn Pacific.
Specific, though.
Specifically at
not
5 Pacific.
Hey, there's what I'll say.
It's tough.
Come on, phone.
So yeah.
Say that 3 times fast.
Tried. You want to try it?
No, I'm good.
No?
I was going to come up with joiners then. James Sinek.
What's up, James?
He says something. He's very original.
Sweet.
And Brett said, what up, guys? Happy earliest 30th birthday, Tyler.
Tomorrow. Thanks, bro.
So this isn't technically a birthday episode?
This is pretty much my birthday episode. Yeah.
I was getting loose.
And we called it reverse script.
That sounds about right, the foreshadowing of things to come tonight on your birthday.
Oh my God, this is
Cam's up.
this is
Not it. Not it.
What?
I don't want Cam anywhere near me. All right. Anyway.
Just gotta teach you the ways of reverse grip.
Oh, no.
Maybe
don't
later.
want that
Maybe
lesson.
later.
So, anyways,
Wait, is that why you brought the clarinet?
no, he'd have brought the skin flute. All right, so we will get into that story here in a little bit.
A light just floated across the screen.
Yes! But tonight's beers, we're going to start off with one we're slightly terrified of.
Yeah. So my neighbor is a realtor, and he's very, very social. He's the most social guy I know, and he has people who give him beer all the time, and he doesn't really drink craft beer. And so after they sit in his house for like 2 years, then he gives them to me. Thank you, Gene. I appreciate that.
Not a bad deal.
Except, it's
all blueberry shit this time.
This time is all blueberry shit that sat warm for probably 2 years.
Yeah, so it's a malt beverage with blueberries added. It's called the Justin.
This label's amazing.
Can you just do the label?
All right.
You'll enjoy it more than I will.
Think of those teenage girl like boy band magazines. This is Justin Blaber.
Oh my God. I believe you think of Teen Pop.
Yes, Teen Pop. Of course, off-screen Matt knows.
Yeah, I was going to say, of course.
Shut up.
Rich's surprise. My first kiss was. Someone's got Danish fever. Ryan, I'd run away from my crush. Justin flashes his, I don't even know what Istigate guy? I don't even know. Istigate eyes? I don't
Where
even know
is
what
it
that
at?
is. Right here.
Justin flashes his
Yeah.
instigate eyes.
Isted?
It's isted.
Isted Gade Eyes.
I've never heard that term.
It's-
All right.
I've never heard of it.
But yeah,
So European teen pop.
a 4.5% ABV beer. Again, it is a malt beer with blueberries added that's been sitting for about 2 years warm. A lot of us know that fruit beers tend to not do well. Now, this isn't going to explode or anything like that, but they just don't do well
Yeah.
aged.
Yeah, so we figured we'd get it done and over with.
I'm kind of hoping that maybe it was like blueberry extract added,
Right.
because then it won't have gone as bad.
And let's see, like,
The color?
Smell.
well, yeah, we'll look at the color.
Well, if it doesn't come out like a toxic sludge, then
It's clear.
so far so good.
Still has some
This could be worse.
little bubbly. All right, I've seen worse.
While you're pouring, we got Savage on, our two favorite bearded guys.
What up,
Yeah,
Savage?
what's
See, someone's hard at work. Nicholas Valentin said, "This is my first time watching. Why are there 3 guys with beards?"
So, Nick, we'll go into that in just a second. I'm glad you're watching, though, man, as soon as I'm done
There
pouring.
is a really good answer for that.
I'll save you the time. It's a guest.
Yeah. Well,
No.
I was thinking we'd actually talk about what we do on the show, since we do have someone new. So, Nick is actually our Books and Brews Brownsburg owner, and possibly a second location coming.
Sweet.
But Nick's an awesome dude. Nick, what we do is every episode, it's John and I are the main hosts with off-screen Matt behind the camera putting in his pearls of wisdom.
Hello.
And then every week we bring on a guest. So week 17 now, and we've had 14 different guests because we've had a couple repeats. But yeah, no, it's one of our favorite things to do because we highlight musicians, board game people, artists, just fun personality. Some of it's just personalities.
Yeah.
If we think someone has a great, like Tessa, for instance, it's just a fun personality. What else? What else we had? We've had people who love to cook, people who like Pete, who are bourbon, cook, beer, an engineer, all rolled into one.
We had a stand-up comedian one time.
No, I don't know. We had a guy who thought he was a stand-up comedian one time.
I get rant about Subway.
No, you don't want to.
But no, so we so we have a guest on. We get to talk to them about kind of all the stuff they like. They also put in their points. So like when we grade our beers, every beer we talk about, we do the Untapped scale, which is 0 to 5 in quarter increments.
Yeah.
So the one thing that's nice, it's getting hazier the longer it sits. That's weird. So the one thing that we, yeah, I'm a little worried. When we
smells kinda nice.
when we grade, John and I, and then our guest, we take the average. So our scores that we put on Untapped are very reliant on the guest. Matt's scores doesn't
Some would
count.
say a whole third of the score.
Yeah. Well, depends on how they grade.
There's been somebody be like, nope, you don't count now.
Sorry, we had one episode we actually let Matt's grade on top, so we had 4 specifically to balance out the
I
craziness.
came on top.
But yeah, so it's a lot of fun. We're gonna try again the Justin Blaber blueberry malt beverage with blueberries at 4.3%.
Evil Twin Brewing.
Yeah,
It's collaboration.
It's Evil Twin, produced and bottled for Evil Twin by Westbrook Brewing Company.
Okay.
Because they don't traditionally brew a lot of their own stuff. They do all the recipes, brew it in small batch, and then make big batch people do it. Oh.
While you guys are
Oh,
gulping that down,
Sorry.
Todd Snyder joined us and said Sup G. I don't know if he meant one person specifically or all of us.
It'd be
That's
him.
my buddy Todd from Lowe's.
Okay. Gotcha.
What up,
I thought
Todd?
it was like-
Cheers,
like
Todd.
From the hood, like Sup G.
Oh.
And Brett made a funny observation too. It's amazing that Tyler's feeling fruity for his birthday.
All right, so, oh my gosh, it's Justin Blaber. If you have Blaber fever, then this is the only cure. We stuffed so many blueberries into this beer, it's going to make you shout, oh, baby. This is dedicated to AFSB. A and F, I don't know, I'm not reading all that shit. A collaboration between Evil Twin and Westbrook Brewing Company and the Charleston Beer Exchange.
all right. Is it supposed to be sour?
It doesn't say. It doesn't taste infected, though. Like,
No.
like accidentally infected. If they soured it, I think it was on purpose.
It kind of seems like a wine or a juice more than a beer.
Very light-bodied.
Not a fan, but
It's not terrible though.
Actually, no, it's way better than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be a lot worse.
And if you're gonna let a beer sit for a while, that's not a stout.
oh, it turned out real well.
Let it be a sour. No.
It's that palatable tart.
John, why don't you talk first?
Yeah. So,
I'm gonna need this.
a decent sour flavor. It's not super tart. It's a little bit watery, not too bad. So kind of thin.
My problem is I get a lot more of that watery mouthfeel. It to me is, but it's a watery bodied mouthfeel, but
Yeah.
the actual on your tongue's very dry because it's like a Gosa a little bit
Yep.
that's sour, which is why John likes it.
Yep.
But my issue is because it's so watery, it just tastes like sour, dirty water to me.
Yeah.
And I like
mean,
sours, and I'm like, nah.
It's not a very strong blueberry at all.
No.
It's not bad. Gunner.
Like I said earlier, it seems more like a juice or a wine than a beer. It's kind of tart, kind of sour, not too overpowering, but that watery feel and taste just kind of ruins it for me a little bit.
What if it was more like carved up? What do you guys think? Would that help it, or would that not make a
An
difference?
effervescent bubbliness would probably,
Because it's pretty flat after you pour it out.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think that bubbliness would make up for the body a little bit
Yeah.
because it would more remind you what it is. A flat, right now it's like I said, just kind of flat, dirty water.
Did we look it up in Untapped? Because I really want to know if it's
No,
supposed
I
to be
didn't.
sour.
No, I didn't look it up. Dude, that thing's old as shit. I don't look shit up that old.
Does it make you want
There's
to
a
sing?
joke there.
I mean, blueberries.
It's supposed to be a Berliner Weiss.
Blueberries
Okay.
are kind of tart when they're like ripened.
Okay.
See, that annoys me that they didn't put that on there, though. It shouldn't have been a malt beverage. It should have been like
Berliner
Berliner
Weiss.
Weiss.
Yeah.
Sour, something. But yeah, so that's about all I got about it. I don't have anything good to really
It's-
say.
It's old. So it's better than anticipated.
It's better than I anticipated. I was expecting like gag reflex bad.
I was expecting some poison for sure.
No, we would have given that to Cameron.
True.
Do you want to rate it first? Where do you want me to go?
I'll go. So I'm gonna give it a flat. Nah, I'm not that nice. I'm gonna give it a 1.75.
Okay.
It just, I like sours and I like Gosas. Hell, my mug before I came here, because Books and Brews Noblesville is open now, I went and grabbed a mug of Psycho before I came here. Like,
Yeah, I think the biggest thing it has going against it is it's just not fresh. I would like to try this again fresh. I think overall I would rate it better. I'm going to give it a 2.25. So not bad. I'm actually pleasantly surprised.
hey Matt,
Yo.
go ahead and rinse these.
Okay.
Because we have a lager coming up next.
Oh, gotcha.
I would, I guess, go somewhere in the middle. It's maybe a 2 for me. It's not
So it's a
terribly
2.
good, not terribly bad.
Yeah,
Oh, we didn't
for
actually-
I was
hold
just
on.
getting ready to say.
John and I dropped the ball a little bit. And by John and I mean that's actually like one of my jobs. My bad.
I wasn't going to say anything.
My bad. Hey, I take the when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. The way we do our score is a 3 is perfectly average. It's perfectly average for the style of beer. Not great, not bad, just that perfectly average beer. 4 or higher. 4 is that threshold of I'm gonna start looking for this beer. I'm gonna call liquor stores or drive a couple hours to go get it.
Yeah.
In between 3 and 4 is that kind of like the higher up you go, the closer you get to those numbers. If you get to a 5, which John and I neither one have given anything a 5 yet, we've only had 2 5s on the show.
From our guests.
By guess that, yeah, we're both wrong. But that's 5 is like, this is the best thing I've ever had in the beer world. Going the other direction, under 3, dropping down towards 2, you're stair-stepping down. 2 is, I don't really like this beer, but I can still drink it. You get under 2 towards 1, you're getting away from the I can still drink it. Once you hit 1 or lower, it is, fuck no, I will grab anything else in the fridge, and if nothing else is there, I will drink water.
Yeah. So that's kind of the rating scale.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
yeah. So we our average on that was a 2. Off screen, Matt. Any comments? Any?
I'd be curious to try it fresher, just to see.
I mean, I'm always curious
how-
to
how
try
well it's
things when
different.
they're supposed to be tried.
Yeah.
But it wasn't too bad. No,
Maybe
I
if you get
think
it
the
fresh,
2 is
though.
pretty fair for it with what we have today.
Because that is the thing. We grade it on this beer, not when we've had it in the past, not whether it's been on tap or not, and we've had it like this specific iteration of the beer.
Somebody just subscribe to us on YouTube.
Thank you,
which
Jeremy.
Is a reminder to smash that like button. I would hit the horn, but I can't find it. There it is. All right. Smash that like button.
Let's go.
Subscribe to our channel. Turn on notifications, especially since we don't go live on Instagram anymore. Turn on your notifications on YouTube because it will give you a notification just like Instagram does. So a lot of our viewers have been like, "Oh, I missed your show because I don't get the notification." Motherfucker, hit the little bell button next to subscribe, and it will notify your ass.
We just had a school of thumbs.
Smash that like button.
I wouldn't think that was Shuggy.
Oh boy.
Oh. So Gunnar, while he's pouring this,
While it's pouring itself.
right? Would you like to talk a little bit about like the cool things that our guests do? So we could nerd out because we could talk about some of the Axis and Allies or Hearts of Iron 4 World War II stuff that we play.
True.
But I really want to know more about is it karate or taekwondo? What do you do?
Taekwondo, judo, and hapkido.
Okay. Explain. This is your chance to expound.
Well,
on
the easiest one, I guess people can recognize is Taekwondo. That is basically a Korean version of karate or kung fu. It's stand-up striking and pressure points, blocking, just the traditional stuff you see in a karate movie. Judo is basically Japanese wrestling. It's descendant from jiu-jitsu, but it's a lot more stand-up, a lot more throwing and pinning, more so than jiu-jitsu is, pinning
go
on
down
the
the
ground. Yeah, it's all on the ground for the most part, or at least getting to the ground. Judo, you can stand up and throw someone. You can put them in an arm bar. You have all these weapons at your disposal. And hapkido.
Weapons?
Weapons. Yes.
Like swords?
No, just
Like my hands are my weapons.
Oh, that's not
Now,
bad.
hands and
now the sword though. Try the reverse grip.
You gotta be an edge lord. You gotta be an edge lord if you have But for the third one,
Definitely defensive maneuver.
That might get messy. I don't know.
Continue, sorry.
you're right.
Because it's true.
Anyway, hapkido is basically it's a Korean art. It's basically self-defense. Like it's combat focused. It's practical self-defense. You can combine
It's
just
like
about
Krav
anything.
Maga, except not Israeli.
Yeah, basically. Like say
Wait, Krav Maga is Brazilian dance fighting.
no, that's
Isn't it?
capoeira.
That's capoeira. That's right.
Dude,
That's
don't-
right.
Don't question Gunner.
No, I'm not questioning him.
He questioned me.
I would like to see Tyler try to do
Confused, I
capoeira,
said.
though.
We all know that we would do the drunken style kung fu.
Oh, drunken monkey, baby.
That could be pretty dangerous. You ever heard of a monkey steals the peach technique? You
Get away from me! We're not reverse gripping right now.
Well, Cameron
We're talking about
might.
the same thing here.
Check him. But
Well,
hapkido-
especially when his hand went down here, I was like, what the fuck?
No. It's like when you're drunken monkey,
Yeah.
like this, you can step to the side, reach down right in someone's groin, and you grab and tear it.
Oh, man.
Steal the peach.
We'd definitely be drunken monkey.
That is uncouth.
Anyway, continue with the whatever the other one was.
But
Hapkido.
Hapkido is basically you just defend yourself any way that you know how. So basically, you can combine like Taekwondo, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, everything.
So
you know.
Hapkido's just fuck someone up.
Basically.
All right.
Let's go.
So Hapkido sounds fun.
Right?
Oh, it is. It's a great time. You get to beat people up. You get to get beat up in class, and then you get to go home and do it all again the next day.
Sounds fun to me,
It
actually.
is.
Sadly, that sounds fun.
It is.
All right, so our next beer. John picked this up from Grand Junction Brewing in Westfield, Indiana. I've been to their tap room quite a few times. It's called My Dirty Dancer. It's their American lager at 5%, only 10 IBU. So, theoretically, what a lager should be.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a little left.
Yeah. So it's I think we've been doing at least one good easy drinker lawnmower beer the past couple episodes, so I want to continue that.
Well,
It's getting summertime.
It's that time of year, you know? Those fruity things, those light beers, those lawnmower beers. That's Now, the only problem with lawnmower beers, they're going to have to live up to our lawnmower beer expectations.
That's true.
We've been really, I will admit, before we drink this beer, we've been really harsh on lawnmower beers lately. Just kind of like that, like, you are not a lawnmower beer.
Right.
You lied!
You have to, it's got to be...
You were the chosen one!
It's got to be pretty drinkable. And if it's too hoppy or, if it's great tasting, but, it's 8%, like...
Or it's $10 for two. Or,
right.
not everything can be pub beer, okay?
Well, needs to be.
$1 for a 16-ounce craft beer? Fuck yeah!
That's good.
Steal it twice the price.
Alright, so yeah, like I said, this is the My Dirty Dancer.
First of all, very
Woo!
easy.
Hey, his trip to Dominican.
Oh god.
His Dirty Dancer.
It's already
Oh boy,
yeah.
there's a lot of dirty down there.
That's a different type
Zing.
of virus.
So, yeah, very easy. This is just a lager, right?
That's what their very fancy can label says.
On a scale of 1 to Miller Lite, how is it?
I'd say this is better than Miller Lite.
Most things are.
Dang.
I'm sorry, Cameron. Your favorite beer is shit.
I knew I liked you.
Right?
He's the one that should have been on 3 times, not...
Man, Miller Lite, it's pretty good.
It's palatable.
Although the only good thing about having Cam on is making him take drinks of bourbon barrel aged beers.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That should be a meme on the internet somewhere.
Cameron is a walking, talking meme. What are you talking about?
So this beer here, I'll start us off.
Yeah, start us off.
Very light body. There's a sweetness to it, which a lot of lagers have, but it's a little more pronounced than some.
Yeah.
Nice bubbly on the tongue, very easy to drink. I would put this in the lawnmower beer category. They nailed what they were aiming for in that sense. It color-wise, it's definitely a lot hazier than I expected. A lot of lagers, most lagers are very clear. But overall, good head retention, especially for a lager.
For a lager.
I'm not upset with this beer at all. Dances on the mouth a little bit with a little bubbliness.
A sweet biscuit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, with some of these lagers, you are going more to that biscuit flavor in there.
I'm also calling it Sweet Biscuit for an album name.
Sweet biscuit.
How many? I need to write down all your album names that you claim.
Before I want to, there's another flavor I'm getting in it that I'm going to let you guys speak before I say it.
There's something I can't put my finger on. It's
I can't.
got
There's
that
something
kind
I
of
just
sweet
can't.
note to it, but
It is definitely sweeter than anticipated. I don't
not
know.
in a bad way, but yeah, it's
Right.
not like Bud Light sweet where it's like you feel like you're drinking a fifth of butter. But
What do you got, brother?
Well, I'd say it's kind of hoppy, but not too bad. It's it reminds me kind of like just a wheat beer, like Blue Moon almost. It's not too heavy, not too light, it's just easy going. I could drink it and be all right for quite a while.
What is it you're picking up? Because I'm getting
That-
something I just can't think of.
I think you made their own stuff. It's not too heavy, not too light. I could just drink it and be all right.
So, AKA Matthew McConaughey
Bars.
talking about a beer. That's all I got right there.
All right.
I'd say it feels a little creamier, kind of for what I would have expected.
Yeah.
On Tyler's mouthfeel to steal that from him. But,
No, I'm cool.
yeah, there's definitely a flavor I can't put my finger on for a long
Or his
run
tongue.
there.
Is there a banana in there?
I'm not getting it.
That might like a very, very faint, almost like more like banana nut bread.
If there is, they used a Belgian yeast to make their lager.
Or it's got a little bit of an infection in it.
Yeah, either one.
So there are infections that cause that flavor.
Either one.
Yep. Yeah.
But it doesn't feel infected.
No, I think I'm kind of with John where it's not like a pronounced banana, but it's kind of more like the banana nut bread or like banana
Yeah.
nut biscuit. If you
Yeah.
had somehow got those two together and fucked and made a banana nut biscuit, which I would definitely eat.
That's what I was thinking. That sounds like the greatest breakfast biscuit ever.
John, there's some homework for
Which
you.
once again, I mean,
Where's Pete when I need him?
we're not saying it's bad.
Yeah.
It's just that's what I'm picking up.
No, I think
Where's
that's
Pete when I need him?
Right.
If anybody can make a banana nut biscuit and make it good, it'd probably be his dumbass.
probably involve beer.
I'm not a
too.
baker.
And it would actually have beer in it too. Yeah.
So just that's what I'm picking up from it.
I'm not getting it, but I just made me missing it. Matt said he got it, so. Overall, it's a solid beer. I think it meets the lawnmower beer qualities that most lagers should. It's not going to be my go-to lawnmower beer.
It's a little too sweet, I think, for what.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a bigger yard or you're push mowing. Man, you're getting to the point now where it's like, I need something that's not sweet. I want just alcoholic water.
We don't need mouth drying,
No,
but I don't need super sweet either.
exactly.
Yeah.
Gunnar, why don't you grade this one first?
Oh, I would say it probably fall somewhere like 2.25, 2.5 for me.
Pick one.
2.5.
2.5.
Pick one!
Pick one. 2.5.
John, you're up.
I was going to say 2.5.
We'll go across the board with that.
I'll scream mad if you had to rate it. If you actually counted.
Well, no, I was going to 2.5, but
All right.
Hey.
Yeah.
What did we end up
Yeah.
saying? 2.5?
2.5.
Grants on 2.5.
That's
I kind
right.
of like the little sweeter flavor because it's something different personally, but
Yeah, I'm not used to having a lager to be that sweet.
I think a lot of people will find this very good.
Yeah.
I think it's a beer that, especially if you're not a huge beer fan or anything like that, this is a beer that you would probably like. My mother, who the only beer she really drinks is like Coors Light, this would probably be one she'd like because she loves ciders.
did you get the Dirty South right there?
I did it on
Coors?
purpose.
Light.
I feel like it's one of those that she would enjoy. But me, it's just not what I want for a lager. But I like very German style lagers, anyways, and so
I like.
give me a Helles.
I like
give
the
me
malt, but I don't. Yeah, I'm not looking for so much sweet.
Yeah. It could use a little bit more bitterness to it.
Oh, that's so tasty.
I've been waiting for this one.
All right, so the beer John's been most excited about.
Without having tasted it, it's at least a 4 because I have searched this out. Now, after tasting it, it might change.
I like how he's giving it a preemptive for. All right,
I did. I searched this
So
out.
I love Toppling Goliath, and I haven't found a beer by them I've disliked yet. I kind of hope this beer's shit just because of what John just said.
Yeah, I know.
Because I want to see him grade just a terrible beer after preemptively giving it a 4. It's got the very cool logo and label art here. Nice fancy dragon. Did I nail that, by the way?
Nailed
Fuck yeah, I'm getting good at that.
Toppling Goliath, good regional brewery out of Iowa.
Yep, it is the Dragon Fandango beer with mango, passion fruit, and dragon fruit. As he said, it is out of Iowa. Brewed in... Oh, that's a lie. This is beautiful. Decorah, Iowa. Mango, passion fruit, and dragon fruit are combined to create this unique sour beer. Raise a glass, dance the fandango, and celebrate these tropical fruits.
Let's go.
That sounds like a TikTok video waiting to happen. Dance the fandango.
Y'all can make that one. I'm not.
So I know what we're doing after the show tonight.
Yeah.
Gunner's doing a TikTok
He's
dance.
not familiar with extended pour time, is he?
Do you wanna start drinking?
There's nothing else to do.
Oh, wow. It's red.
Oh,
That's like Dragon's Blood.
Wow.
oh
Yes.
damn. Okay, now I'm even more
Alright.
excited.
Yeah, no kidding. I took the words out of my mouth.
Okay.
That got a few points right
I
there.
know.
Oh, well, that
Just for presentation.
that viscous red nectar is oozing out of the can.
It's not. That's thing is look.
Yes. What we
There's
got?
no viscosity.
Whew.
Touche. Well, Amy joined on, gave us the piece up,
What's up, Hinch?
and Sherry's on.
Mama!
She says that she is expanding her taste. She has also accepted grapefruit seltzer.
I meant to bring one today. I have one for next week.
Okay.
It's actually a seltzer. Not only do I like, it's going to get a real good grade for me when I actually grade it because I have already had it, and then
Okay.
it's a seltzer that's fucking good.
Okay. I'm excited for it.
Technically,
as
it's a
excited as
spritzer.
can be for us.
Technically,
Okay.
it's a spritzer.
Did we have any requests for
Not today.
something about a mouth sore?
No. That's not questions Mom gets. We don't need Cameron questions going to my mother.
Yeah, she did say that no, you don't. I drank it, so maybe.
Oh, what?
No, she didn't. She ain't that dumb.
None for you.
I love my mama, but she ain't gonna do that to me.
No seltzer for you.
That'd be doing me dirty.
That's
But
how you get a sword.
no, that Cameron.
How do you rub someone's nose in their words?
He just showed us.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so like I'm saying, Dragon Fandango, Toppling Goliath. Cameron, shut the fuck up.
It smells amazing, but I'm a little apprehensive it's gonna be like super sour.
Oh. Oh, boys.
It's definitely got some tartness,
Oh,
but
boys.
I love that fruity body. Really, nobody? I literally put that on a tea, and nobody's gonna.
Sorry, I was busy enjoying this. What'd you say?
I literally said I love that fruity body, and nobody said a word. I teed that motherfucker up for
After
all of
drinking
you.
Bieber beer.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, I literally teed that son of a bitch up.
Sorry. I'm actually...
Yeah, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, speaking of the family dinner, Sherry says, Busty knows me too well. I didn't drink it. And Brett said, a red beer. If it's good, bring it home.
It's delicious.
I don't
is-
have any. Sorry, there were
I
John's.
am surprisingly very impressed with this. This is very,
Yeah,
very
that's-
good.
It's a real good sour.
It's in the realm of sours. It's not very pucker soury though.
It's more drying, a little dry sour, a little
It's a berry jam.
yeah.
Oh,
I would put this on toast and biscuits and...
on a
Anything,
banana nut.
and I've said it
biscuit.
before. Anything with mango worries me because mango can be overpowering.
Mhm.
This is not.
No.
There's a little subtle mango there. I would say there's dragon fruit, but I honestly don't know what the fuck dragon fruit tastes
I
like.
can't say I've eaten dragon fruit.
Passion fruit I can taste, and I do know what that is. So,
Dude.
but I've never had dragon fruit. I know what they look like.
Yeah.
I've seen them. I've never
Dragon
eaten them.
fruit flavored
Chinola.
things, but never had dragon fruit.
Chinola.
Chinola.
I've had dragon fruit flavored things, but I didn't know if that was actually what it tasted like because I didn't know what a real dragon fruit tasted like.
Right.
I want to turn this into a slushy too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Right? It's the perfect amount of sweetness to balance the sour. It's not super tart.
so instead of a wine slush, you do one of
Oh my
these.
God,
Oh my
dude.
god!
I imagine this being really good to cook with too, for those
Fuck
cookists
that.
out there.
I put this in a
Drink
cheesecake.
first.
Oh,
Fuck that! I'd drink it.
I know.
That cheesecake would never get made. I would set down the can, start doing everything else I'm supposed to do, go to grab the beer to put in the cheesecake, it would be fucking empty. And I'd be sitting there going, how the fuck did this happen?
There's a hole in it. Man.
But there's a little fruit there. There's a little sweetness.
Yeah.
For being tart up front, there's a little sweetness. It hits you at first, and then just kind of mellows out.
Yeah.
A nice little sweet jammy body.
Yeah.
I mean, this just goes to reinforce, like, Toppling Goliath is my favorite regional brewery right now.
They've been kicking ass.
Their IPAs are great. King Sue, Pseudo Sue, amazing. That morning latte, oh my god, dude, so good. And this is a sour. Like every beer style I've had from them has been just top notch.
Yeah, so far I haven't had anything bad. They do have a lager or something like that I've heard is
Oh, the
just,
Dorothy's New World.
which I've heard is just okay.
It's a lager.
I haven't had it.
yeah, they're meant to be okay.
But man, this is
Who doesn't really have a lager, but like, god damn, that was the best beer
Best
I've ever
lager
had.
ever, yeah.
Yeah, no one.
but this is I'm really happy. Gunnar, what about you?
It's very different. It's real light, and I can taste the papaya, passion fruit, and everything. Chinola is what they call it in
Chinola.
Dominican Republic and other Latin countries. We had plenty of that when we were in Dominican Republic. But yeah, it's very light. It's not too sour, not too tart. It's just right, really.
Are you a big beer drinker, Gunnar?
I mean, I'll drink whatever you set in front of me. Just
Would you call yourself a beer
Seven
guy?
pallets.
not like
Yeah.
in
Okay. That's what I was wondering. Like
sense,
you're probably more than Cam.
yeah.
Well, that doesn't
But-
take much.
Yeah. Okay.
The one nice thing I've noticed about Gunnar so far is you can tell he definitely isn't a true like beer guy,
Yeah.
but he's a guy who drinks.
Yeah.
And a guy who kind of knows what he likes.
Mhm.
And he's because so far all his takes have been very I don't know.
Articulate.
Yeah, articulate, but not in a way that's like trying to fake what he knows. It's very much just like, this is how I feel the beer is.
Yeah.
Cam's over here going, I sucked, I don't know. Cam, everything sucked. No, dude, that like mixed drink thing we did.
He's like, give me a Miller Lite. Man.
He also was
Jeez.
slurring his words so bad.
Yeah.
Quick update, Sherry Danner is signing off. Said she's gonna pop on real quick.
Night, Ma.
But night, Sherry.
Love you, Mom.
Love you.
You shut your whore mouth.
You dirty whore mouth, Cam.
Shut your diseased mouth. All right,
Oh, no.
so the Dragon Fandango. Anybody else have any more words? Matt, you want to say anything before we grade? Because this beer is fantastic.
I'm sad that it's done.
Yeah, I am too.
I kind of just peered down the barrel of my glass, wishing that there was more in it.
I've done this
yeah.
like 3 times.
That was very good. I think I might be the first one done, sad. Like, it's...
Oh, I'm out too.
Okay, yeah.
Delicious.
I would like a lot more of that.
Yeah.
You got that from Cons, right, John?
Cons, yeah.
Okay.
Cons, fine wine, and
Glad to
beer.
get some more of that Meme de la Creme here coming up, because those are 2 really, really good beers.
That being Della Cream. Cool. So I'm putting this on a very high level. It's not going to be my top rated beer that we've ever done. For one, I have troubles doing that with a sour. Not impossible,
Yeah.
but I would say it's up there. I'm giving it a flat 4. I will go find this.
4?
Like I will order it through Cons online and go get it.
Okay. I'm going to go 4.25. I think as far as sour beers, it's absolutely one of my favorites. It's delicious. And,
It's not pickle beer to me, but it's close.
well, sure. And
Get over
I
it.
would probably rate pickle beer a step above this. I think I'd give pickle beer 4 or 5.
I don't remember. We both gave it a high score, and then I think it was Tommy
Tommy
fucked it all
yeah.
up.
No, I was on that.
No, was it you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're the one that fucked it
I
up.
didn't know, dude. I was like, oh my god, my taste buds don't know what.
He was
going
kind of the
on.
voice of reason on you guys. You were shooting for the stars.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It was. And I
We
can't
have both
stop-
considered flying to Texas to get more.
That-
I can't
yeah.
stop thinking about
You guys
it.
have a
Like,
problem.
Realistically, that should have been a
still,
5. We've considered getting on a plane to go to Texas.
I can still taste it.
Next time we have it, we're gonna have to
We're gonna
regrade.
re-rate it.
Yeah,
Bring me on for that one. I wanna-
All right.
dude, it literally tastes like pickle juice
Yeah.
that has alcohol in it.
Yeah.
That,
All right.
like,
Yeah.
I
So
like pickle.
I will say this is probably more universal than.
oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Substantially.
yeah.
This is more the everybody sour.
Yes. Great beer, Gunner.
I would say it's a 4 for sure. I would go buy it. Definitely go look for it. It's pretty good.
So the Two Beerded Guys score is a flat 4.
Flat 4.
That's a high sour
Great
for
job.
us.
Yeah, it's a great job topping Goliath. Love it.
Shocker.
Right.
They've been on a roll lately. I kind of, the only reason I would live in Iowa.
Much better than the.
The whiskey.
The whiskey.
Oh,
Do we know how long they've been around? Like, are they relatively new, or have they been established for a while?
I think they've been around, not a long time, but they're established. But I think they just went widespread regional.
Really, I'll look it up real quick.
I want to say they've only been regional the last 2-3 years.
It's really last year or two that I've noticed it.
Exploded.
But you know, whether it was the King Sue, the Pseudo Sue, Dragon Fang Dango now, they have a stout that's good. They're hitting their stride right now, and if they can keep this
They
up,
opened in 2009.
all right. So they've been around a
11 years
decent
old.
amount of time. I wonder when they kind of went widespread
They
distribution.
distribute in over 18 states.
Damn,
They
look
have
at you
30
go!
beers they rotate throughout the year.
Look at you go, Toppling.
Yeah.
But I'm very impressed. Matt, you want to go ahead and give us another rinse
Sure.
before we go with our New England?
I thought you were gonna
Did
say
you have any
score,
thoughts? Yeah, score. Before you do, let's get your
I would
thoughts.
say a 4 1/4 actually too. Like that's, kind of like John was saying. It's not really my style, but that's just damn good beer. So I will seek this out. I will go to Cons. I will get more. That's just fucking delicious. I'll share it with friends and
Yeah.
like, you gotta try this.
That's
It's
a beer
really
you
good.
put in your fridge and you go, you like sours.
I got something for you.
You like sours.
Even if you don't, like, hey,
Well, no,
you should
but
try
it's,
this.
It's
something-
definitely one that's great to give to your friend who likes sours. Oh man, I like sours. What do you got? Here you go. Or I don't really know what I like. Yeah, I got you too. You're fine. Here you go.
It's also pretty good to if you just want to chill and hang out too. It's not gonna get you
What,
totally
what,
plastered.
what was the
It's-
ABV? We didn't say that this time.
doesn't
Side note too on some way. Beer Life.
It didn't
Helen
feel like
hopped
it had
on,
a whole
said,
lot.
Beer
hey,
life.
What
Beer
up,
life.
Helen?
don't know if might be a good time. Is
Yep,
the
I was getting ready to
sunshine
think
going?
that. Yeah. So, guys, one of the reasons we love when Beer Life Helen shows up is A, she's a good friend of ours, but B, they're actually doing a really cool chug challenge right now. You've probably seen a lot of John's videos. You haven't seen many from me in the last week.
I did a couple.
I've not been all that up to it,
POV
but
camera
so we
dog.
the chug challenge. Basically, you chug a beer or attempt to chug a beer, and Beer Life Helen. But attempt to chug a beer and record it, put it on Instagram, tag Beer Life Official, exactly how it's spelled. You tag Beer Life Official, and $1 will be donated to first responder charities. Up to $10,000 will be donated by Beer Life Official. It is an awesome thing, and my theory is there's a lot of ways I've helped give back to the community over the years, whether it's volunteering my time, donating money, whatever. I've never in my life been able to take one of my favorite hobbies,
drinking beer,
and use that to give money to a worthy cause without anything coming out of my pocket besides the beer I'm drinking.
That's why I pay it forward.
you chug beer and you just donated $1.
Yeah. And if you can do it once, you can do it twice. You could post 7 videos a day, and they're going to count every video. John, I was up to 8 days straight before I had to stop for a little while. John's probably at, not straight, but I think you're at like 13 or 14 now.
Yeah, I've slacked lately.
Dipshit on my left, Cameron's done a couple.
We saw
Gunner is supposed to.
Yeah, we'll get Gunner's done tonight.
Peggy missed the chicken chugs.
Our buddy Russell chugged a beer literally that was poured down the back of a chicken into his mouth.
Right off a chicken's ass.
I truly was hoping the chicken would shit the entire time I was watching the video.
I thought it was going to happen.
I was hoping, dude. I really was.
Now, Beer Life even said that she's a terrible chugger, though.
Oh, she's awful.
Yeah,
She'll literally, it's
I watched
funny,
the video.
if you look at her
She'll close
videos,
the video.
she'll drink part of her beer down a little bit, so she'll only have like half a beer to try to chug, and she still won't get through it.
I'll get you back, Alan. I suck at chugging,
So
too.
say IPAs, man.
I saw a video the other day. It was someone chugged a Bourbon County,
Nice.
Oh.
but they had a straw.
Oh, no, it helps you speed it up.
Yeah, and it was bottoms up and it was gone.
That's why Russell was talking about it when I
With
told
chicken,
him.
it'll speed up.
No,
the-
so
the-
I'm. I've already said it on a radio show. My attempt before the Beer Life Chug ends is to attempt to chug a 64-ounce growler. I've done a 32-ounce howler, and that hurt. But I wasn't
That
like
hurt your chest.
it did. That's what hurt.
bladder? How much
I wasn't. It doesn't get there that fast. Now, once it gets there, oh boy. But no, so my goal is a 64-ounce growler, and I'm going to do the straw to attempt to help cut down the bubbles a little bit to let that air out. Otherwise, it's going to hurt even worse. So
it will.
I'm interested. I'm going to try it. I'm not saying I'll succeed, but I'm going to. I did a 32 and I took it down like a fucking champ pretty quick.
The 64 is literally double that.
I know. I'll tell you what, you get drunk
Gunner
pretty quick when you do that.
You can't see, but he's like, no.
I had a good buzz going after the 32.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
It's like mainlining alcohol at that
I
point.
haven't seen shit like that done since I was partying at Ball State, man.
I haven't done shit like that since I was partying in college, but I said it on the radio show Thursday, so I might as well say it on our show. Before we move on, so we're halfway through our planned beers of the night. We're actually not that far ahead of time for once. I would like to talk about our merch.
Yeah.
John, you've been working really hard lately. Why don't you start us off?
Yeah, so if you go to twobeerdedguys.com or on the Facebook page, there's a shop page, and you will see that we have some show merchandise. And so we've, our amazing guest, Grace, Tattoos by Grace or Brimstone Grace, has been making some art for us, and including our official Two Beerded Guys logo.
That's our main logo.
And so we'll manage to throw that on like a t-shirt, a hoodie,
Or an
a couple other
iRacing car,
things.
maybe.
Maybe an iRacing car. which
We
you
had
can
her
buy.
separate the bearded guys.
Yeah, so we each have our own
And,
silhouette. We put on hats.
One on each hat.
Competing merch.
We are working on coming up, and we'll probably do something similar to this, where it's a blank hat with just like two bearded guys.
Yeah.
But we are wanting to do something where it has both of us, because we've actually had 2 or 3 people now reach out, like Brandon Diltz even talked to me the other day, and he's like, I want a hat, but I want one with both of you.
Yeah.
I told him just to buy both hats.
That's the right answer.
Monetization.
I'm like,
Collect them all.
if you want to support both of us, it's a collection, man. We're gonna eventually make an off-screen Matt one. That's just more money for us, baby.
Right. But it's not only a way for we have some fun. We have like a hashtag Up North shirt with some of the just stupid shit we say on the show.
One of our guests that's been on the show, Chadwick, who does the beard balm that we tried on the show, we're actually selling
Yeah, we're
his
selling his beard balm.
beard balm on there to support him. It's the only product that's actually shipped by someone involved in the show, basically.
Everything else we're doing kind of this on-demand thing, so we don't have to buy a bunch of inventory.
Which also sucks because we're having to buy our own product and have it shipped to us. Which is slightly weird, but it's fine.
It works.
It's fine. Everything's fine. But we're really excited.
It's just on fire.
We're really excited about a lot of our merch. John has a couple more shirts coming up, including like a work style shirt.
Yeah, I've got it's.
I really
You know,
like
I'm
the
not an
baseball
artistic guy by any means, but at the same time, like it's fun to go in and design these shirts and things, and it helps that I have an amazing artist, Grace, to use this to get the art from.
TwoBeerdedGuys.com has some of our merch, not all. The Facebook store has all of it.
Actually, Two Beerded Guys.
Did
does
you
have
finally
all.
get it updated all the way?
You just have to click on catalog.
Okay, that
to
makes
see the
sense.
entire.
I haven't played around with it as much. I got on it to do my first blog entry last week, which I'm going to try to start doing like a weekly entry into that.
Yeah.
Possibly more often. It'll depend. Right now with work, with this whole COVID and trying to reopen, doing extra stuff is a little more difficult.
But I think definitely, whether it's you or me, like we're going to blog at least once a week on it. Just have something to say.
When they show up and they say they're written by me, they're fair warning. It's going to be bad grammar, probably at least one misspelled word. My guess is at least
There's several.
two misuses of there. The only one that'll never be misused is the they apostrophe re. I always get that one right, but ere and eir I fuck up all the time.
Hey, at least you spelled it right there.
I mean, it does say written by Tyler
Yep.
or written by John, but you'll know. Just
You'll
by
know.
reading it.
It took John.
Grammatically.
It took John everything he had
I
not
was-
to
don't
edit mine.
edit. Don't edit. Don't edit.
But yeah, it's we're having a good time with all this right now. As always on Thursdays we do
The
Night.
Turfs Up Radio.
Nightcap with Hecubus.
Yep, Nightcap.
I always mess that up. I want to say Nightlife for some reason. And then every episode he ends his show with the Two Beerded Guys beer of the day.
Yep.
Whatever it is that we send over to him as a hey, this is the beer I recommend, a beer I like. Sometimes it's just beer I've heard good shit about, like.
Right.
And Turfs Up Radio, it's an app, or you can go to turfsupradio.com. If here in this time zone, Eastern, it's 8 to 10.
Yep.
It's 5 to 7
Yeah.
in whatever the fuck time zone he's in.
Specifically Pacific.
But specifically Pacific, it's 5 to 7.
We also have in our very first special show coming up soon.
We do. And I know we're talking a lot more than drinking for once, but we only have a couple more minutes kind of really before we shut down the first hour.
Yeah.
So, and we're halfway through the beers, so we're kind of actually trying to use this time appropriately for once.
Can I jump in real quick before you get
No.
onto that?
Go ahead, brother.
Well, I was going to say, I think Pete was making fun a little bit of Tyler there and a bad beard, but it made me, after your...
It's growing back.
But, which Hecubus said, it's coming back nicely, so, you get offsetting there.
Thanks, Russ.
But that made me think, what about, like, a prop beard? Can that be an item on the store?
That would, well,
We'll look into it.
yeah. It's not a bad idea.
It's actually really funny.
It is funny.
And Hecubus also said, speaking of, much love, he's got to bounce, so...
Later, brother.
Later,
Shout out,
bro.
pal.
But anyway, shit, what did we just say, John? Go
Our
ahead.
special
So, our
episode.
special episode.
Go ahead.
So, on Saturday, May 23rd, so about a little less than 2 weeks from now, we're going to be homebrewing with brewer Kyle, previous guest. And so we're going to be doing that, and I'm also going to be smoking up some pulled pork.
We're still working on the recipe. I'm trying to get my hands on a couple things.
We're going with a New England Hazy IPA.
Yeah. The goal is with Wakatu and Citra for sure, and then I think Kyle's bringing one other hop.
Yeah, hopefully we get some Galaxy in there.
That's the goal. It depends on if we all can get our hands on what we need to get our hands on.
Don't quite know the time that we'll go live, but normally when we're homebrewed, like 12 noon is a good
My guess is we'll
start time.
go live at noon.
Yeah.
We'll announce that by this Saturday, so you'll have at least a week's notice.
So put it on your calendar, because it's going to be a different type of show. It's going to be fun. We'll still drink beer.
Oh, we're gonna drink, and we'll probably pick 1 or 2 beers to still do like a rating and that kind of thing. But it'll be 1 or 2 beers. We may drink a bunch of different beers,
Stones!
but we'll
Yes.
give you like a rating on like 1 or 2. And then we might highlight like, oh yeah, I'm drinking this.
Can that be the macro day? Like we fucking
Ooh.
we don't rate macros. We rank them.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
All right, so Saturday,
like a top out of 3 on the macro.
Saturday,
Yeah.
May
That would
23rd,
go.
we're gonna do Macro Beer Day.
I like
So along with our brewing, we'll do Macro Beer Day. We'll drink a bunch of different macros and we'll rank them. They will get no ratings because we've been trying to figure out. And the only reason we haven't done one yet is because the ratings were going to be weird. So we're going to do a ranking, and we're going to pick a bunch, and we're going to literally rate them 1 through whatever.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that works.
that
So
idea.
Macro Beer Day. I'm going to write that down because we'll forget otherwise. We know this.
John, can I put you in charge of making like the wine tasting note cards for that? That way we can just like jot down what we think of the. Keep it straight. 'Cause if we're doing the macro day, we're gonna have like probably at least 8 beers.
Oh, probably more.
Yeah, probably. We'll see what we can do.
But, yeah, no, I'm excited. That works out real well for us.
Yeah, it does.
For those of you that work in the beer industry, quick shout out. Good luck in your reopens if you live in the state of Indiana and are in the process of reopening today or next week. Good luck. Other states, if you're watching, I know every state right now is on a very different timeline. As you get into the realm of being able to open up, it's scary, it's crazy, it's stressful. I want to say we love you, we support you, and if there's anything you need, let us know.
Yeah.
We both have been there, are there,
Yeah.
and we're happy to help wherever we can, or at least just be dude, this fucking crazy shit happened. Dude, I know!
And listen, if you're going to go in and support these places that open back up, which you absolutely should, recognize that it's definitely going to be different. I mean, we're talking about 50% capacity. Staff's going to be wearing gloves, be wearing masks.
State of Indiana, like, we're not having bar stools.
Yeah.
You can go up to the bar, you can stand at the bar 6 feet apart, but you can't sit at the bar. And I know John and I both are guys that we go to places by ourselves and we sit at the bar.
Yep.
So it's going to be different. And remember, it's not. God damn it, I had something. It's going to be.
See what happens when you try to get serious?
Yeah. Damn it. Well, it's why I'm doing it at the end of hour 1 so we're not so fucked up during hour 2. But yeah, just remember that even though your favorite place is going to be different, don't think they've changed.
Don't be a Karen.
They're going to get back to who they are as soon as they can. Because trust me, nobody likes that change less than the breweries having to do it. They made their living and worked their asses off
Create a community.
to create the community, create their style, that feel, and now they're having to basically say, all right, so everything we do that we've done for the last 5 years, that goes all the way out that window,
Yeah.
and we're going to be Applebee's right now.
Fucked it out the window.
We fucked it out the window. Hashtag love you, Grace. But yeah, so be patient. The staff's going to be learning as well, so we love you guys. John, do you have anything before we close this hour?
No, I think we did a lot of covering different administrative tasks there. So
We actually did like our jobs for once.
right
Yeah, Brett said, I love the brainstorming sesh happening on live air.
We do that all the time.
all the time.
But it's normally that productive, though. We actually came to, like, conclusive, like, hey, here's what we should do. No, just a whole bunch of bullshit.
It's what happens when like 5 minutes before the show starts. We're like, dude, what are we doing today?
See, that's off air. They don't know that.
We've talked about it a lot. It's fine.
Yeah,
Gunnar, do you have anything before we close out the hour?
Oh no, it's been a great time so far. So
Reverse
definitely
script.
look for-
So here in about
reverse script.
2 to 5 minutes, we will start hour 2. As always, thank you guys for watching. I am TBG_Ops Guy.
Mudhog B&Q.
With us today is,
Gunner Masters.
and behind the camera, the one, the only.
I'll screw that up.
Love you guys. Go.
I think so, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Good.
Welcome back for our dose.
Dose.
We are the Two Beerded Guys. This here is...
Modog B&Q.
Behind me is our guest,
Gunner.
Gunner. And I am TBG_Ops guy, which, by the way, I've gotten it right every time today.
I was going to say something. Good job.
I'm really proud of myself.
Yes.
And behind the camera, the one, the only...
I'll scream that.
Oh shit, he pointed at me. That's my cue to actually do it.
It's episode 17, Reverse Grip.
Which
Because it's Tyler's birthday.
actually,
You two are definitely related.
so no,
Quite
but
possibly.
Hey, it's Rowdy's birthday today.
Nice.
Rowdy's birthday.
Shout out Uncle Rowdy.
Uncle Rowdy.
Rowdy.
so it's titled Reverse Grip because our off-screen guest
Oh,
over here
man.
has a way with himself that's just backwards from most people, and so
Very eloquently
we
put.
just
I'm impressed.
we decided that when we had no
I
name.
hope
for
somebody
this.
asks what we're talking about.
We had no name for this episode,
I hang to
and
the
so
left.
we thought it was an interesting name. Now it would have been smart with my birthday being tomorrow.
I don't understand.
Yeah, right? You're not alone. You're not alone.
Google doesn't understand. But we should have just named it, like Tyler's birthday episode or something like that, because that would have been smart.
Yeah.
Instead, I basically
What
forgot
if
my
you
own
choose
birthday is tomorrow, and we went with.
When do we do anything smart?
Yeah. So, like I said, episode 17, Reverse Grip, and
Lucky you guys. If you're here, if you're watching, speak up.
sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Speak up. Let us know
Sorry
you're
in
here.
advance.
Welcome to hour 2. We are not nearly as drunk as normal because we've been drinking low ABV beers, and we've only had 3 of them.
And so far, Beer of the Night.
So far, the beer of the night's the Dragon Fandango. Out of the first 3, it has to be Dragon
Has to be.
Fandango. It got a 4 across the board for us.
Delicious toppling.
By
Goliath.
Toppling Goliath, it is a sour beer, brewed with mango and dragon fruit and passion fruit.
Delicious.
Very, very good.
Did we get to say what the ABV was that on the
4%.
air?
It is a 4% beer.
Okay.
4%. So we've had a 5, a 4, and a 4.3 today. That's a real low for us.
It tastes like a jam that you can spread on some toast. Yeah.
Toast. Just gonna make sure he's not spreading it on something else. All right, so we have the Rainbow Pop New England Pale Ale by Guardian Brewing Company.
Yeah, Guardian.
So as you can tell, we haven't had a Tabor shipment in a while because we've had a lot of local beers.
We have.
And we've been wanting to support a little more local instead of spending
Absolutely.
all our money on Tabor, which don't get
We
me wrong.
still do.
John has like a $300 and plus crate coming. I have a $120 crate coming. I have a $58 order from another beer place coming. Like, it's fine. But this is Guardian Brewing Company. It's off Jackson Street in Muncie. So if you're a Muncie local or been to Muncie, you'll be able to find Guardian pretty quick. The old Centos building? Yeah, it's that.
I think Muncie Music Center.
Serious fruit and candy sweetness dominate the aroma on this pale ale.
Okay.
They're describing the aroma. They're smart. Mm-hmm. Clean and light mouthfeel. Carry throughout to a dry finish with a pale ale experience like no other. In the words of Dio, it's like a rainbow in the dark.
Oh, they got 2 points just for RG Day, or RJD reference there.
So the one
Yeah, I appreciate
The one thing I will say about this is I like that they were smart while saying it's fruit and candy on the nose. Clean and light mouthfeel. But when you say clean and light mouthfeel and then a dry finish, guess what? You did well at the beginning. And now you're starting to over
You're
describe.
dictating it to me.
And once you dictate to me, you better fucking be right.
Yeah.
Because I will fucking
I don't
hammer
know
it.
if I've had much from Guardian, I'll be honest.
I've unfortunately had a decent amount by them. Now they have some that I really like. They actually have a lager that I fucking love. It's called the 765. And it is,
We have that.
it's actually a really fucking good lager.
Yep.
Drinks really easy. They'll crowler it for you. I drank a crowler very quickly one day while doing yard work. It was a great yard work beer. It really was. It was that perfect lawnmower beer.
Perfect.
So they have some good ones. We had another one by them, my other crowler recently, the habanero spiced one with
Oh,
pink.
yeah, that one, I actually enjoyed that
And
one
it was
more.
pretty solid. Guardians, they've stepped up their game from when they first started. and they seem to be improving on old recipes. So Rainbow Pop's been around a little while now, and they're starting to improve on those recipes. By the way, that is a very full can.
Yeah, that's right to the brim.
I think they had a pretty decent stout.
They did
at least
skim.
before, didn't they too? Or did you ever try that, Tyler?
I'm trying to remember. I think I've had it. I'd have to look on my Untapped, to be honest.
It's been a while, but I remember like when they were early on and I was still in Muncie, I had a stout from them that I thought was pretty alright then.
I'm now at like 1,900 unique beers on my Untapped.
That's
So
nice.
trying to, well, it's more like trying to remember some of those like obscure beers that I've had once. Ah.
Right. I just didn't know if you'd gone back there, semi-regularly. Some other things, we got Jennifer Beckert's on. Says, hey.
What up, Jen?
Hey.
Speaking of Jennifer, she is our guest next week.
Yes.
Very excited. She was our first ever giveaway winner. And we were doing them on our separate accounts because we didn't have a Two Beerded Guys yet.
Yep.
There is no ABV on this. John will look it up on his Untapped since his phone's already up. But I'm excited about it. I'm hoping it's as good as it describes. On the color scale, it's not clear. Not quite as hazy as I would expect. More golden than hazy. What do you think, John?
It's got some haze to it. It's not clear.
No, I just said it wasn't clear.
Yeah.
Not quite what I expected.
It's pretty good.
It appears to be 5.5% ABU, only
ABV
28.
and 28 IBU.
Did I say ABU?
Yeah, you did.
I was reading both. 5.5 ABV and 28 IBU. That's what happens when we're professional in the first hour. We get confused in the second.
Yeah, so for a New England IPA, I mean, that's a super low IBU. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's a little different.
Oh, hold on. I saw my old score on there.
Can you define IBU again?
Oh, I must have liked it okay.
International Bitter Units.
Bitter. Yeah, that's right.
But it's based on the hop bitterness.
Okay.
Not bitter from other things.
Right.
Based on the hop bitterness alone.
So it is a...
I get a
reading.
little fruit. I
It
get a
is
little
it is
sweetness on the
reading,
nose.
so
They nailed the aroma.
In general, higher IBUs, you can expect a little bit more hop bitterness, but it doesn't always mean it's going to be bitter.
So question then on that, I'm curious, is that tested before or after the beer is brewed? Or like, where do they test for that?
Based on
scale?
what goes
At
in
the
it.
end?
Yeah, so it's a calculation based on the different hops that you use. They have different alpha acids and percentages of the different acids, and so that's what they calculate it off of.
So it's before it goes in, they kind of calculate that?
It's just based on what goes in.
Oh, okay.
So whatever goes in the beer, they don't test the beer afterwards.
Okay.
It's based on what those hops are tested at with their alpha acids and everything else.
Okay.
So it's so those numbers, basically they go, okay, we ended up using this, this, and this.
Yeah.
Do the math that's required, our IBU.
Okay, gotcha. I was never sure how they got figured.
Yep.
It is a good question though, because there are other things like ABV is tested after the fact, carbonation of the beer is tested after the fact, but IBU is a calculation from the recipe.
Slightly more hop bitterness than I expected with a 28.
Okay.
Not a lot by any
No.
not a lot by any stretch of the imagination. But when I'm thinking 28,
Yeah, no, that's
I'm down in some lager categories.
Yeah.
I definitely got the candy and fruit on the nose. Good song.
A lot of deep thought sounds
Right.
over there.
Not a huge fan. Rainbow Pop, I would expect a little more sweetness on the tongue.
Now, it did say it smells.
No,
didn't say
it
about tasting
did say no, and I'm
in defense of
I'm
the
not
can.
bagging it on what the can said this
Right,
time.
right. Just devil's advocate.
Yeah, for once I'm not slamming the can. I'm more going.
Slamming the cam.
If I'm calling something a Rainbow Pop, I want a little
Dragon
sweet,
Fandango.
fruity, popsicle-y to it.
Yeah.
Now, in all fairness, the Rainbow Pop's one of the most popular shots in Muncie. But it's just missing something. I think if it was a little fruitier, a little sweeter, just
Yeah.
a hair. If you give me what's in the nose, on the tongue, I'm happy.
It is a little bit mouth drying at the end.
Which it said,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm getting, and it's light, but a little bit bubblegum.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
What about you, Gunner?
Well, it's
You everyman drinking man, you.
I am the everyman, I guess. I usually don't go for IPAs too much, but this one, it's not too bitter to be overpowering to me. It tastes like a really decent IPA. Like the can said, and like you were saying, it's very aromatic about the rainbow pop. But I do wish that there was a little bit of that flavor there, because now it just, to me, it tastes like a regular IPA. It doesn't really taste rainbow pop IPA to me.
Like I'm missing something to give me that. And I
Do you
feel
feel
like
the body? Because it seems very light to me.
I feel like which
Yeah.
again they said light bodied.
You did.
I feel like they described it pretty well, so they're not going to lose any points there at all.
No.
I feel like this beer could be very, very good.
It could be better.
I feel like they're just missing
A little bit.
what takes it from meh to not even just meh to good, but meh to pretty damn good is like one thing. Whether it's the fruit or the sweetness, I think fruit would be the perfect thing. I think there is some sweetness there. I think just a little fruitiness to it
Would you achieve more fruit flavor by actual fruit or just more hops? Because
I
it
think
obviously
I
doesn't
would-
have much hops. At
I think
28
I
IBU.
honestly would use a Citra style hop, not necessarily Citra, but anything with that fruity, citrusy
Go with
feel.
something that gives you
Even Galaxy, I think, would give it that body and mouthfeel that you want. Galaxy's expensive. Citra's not cheap, but it's cheaper than Galaxy and easier to find.
yeah.
But I think hops would work too. Plus, it'd bump the IBU just a little bit. But
it's not quite working for me.
yeah, it's not bad. It's just not there.
Yeah.
What about you, Maddie?
I'd say it's very drinkable. It's definitely what the can describes. Like they pretty much nailed what you're smelling, drinking, and tasting. But in doing so, they said you're gonna smell this, which it smells great, but the taste doesn't cash in what the smell provides.
It's almost like they made the beer, tried the beer, and went, "Fuck!" All right, how do we tell people on the can label what this is? Because that's not what we necessarily wanted it to be.
Right. So if you're okay with it smelling the way it does and not having like a robust or a super sweet flavor, like it's definitely a drinkable beer. There's nothing wrong with it on that. But if it tasted half of the way it smelled, it would be extremely good.
If I had 3 IPAs on tap, and this was one of them, I would probably choose one of the other 2.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go with the 2.
I'm gonna go with the 2 as well.
I'm gonna say 2. It's
Gunner's
Yeah.
lazy.
I mean, like I said, I don't really go for IPAs. That one's very it's palatable, drinkable. but
He's
it's
like, I
not-
can drink it. It must be shit.
It's not, a rainbow pop. It's just a regular old IPA to me.
You want to know a way to clear your palate really fucking fast? Use a fucking fruited sour Berliner Weiss with lactose. That rainbow pop is gone.
Gone.
I took one sip. Rainbow pop flavor gone. I might actually have to bump my score one day on this.
Just
Specifically because I'm gonna search it out as my
Palate cleanser.
my during an episode beer where I'm just sitting here. I wasn't a big fan of that one.
Right.
I don't know why.
But you're actually
Moving
getting a little of the wine lips going on though.
Do I? That's awesome. But I just
slightly.
think
Just
it's
need a little bit.
I just think it's funny as shit because it's like it's that. I'm not a fan of that. All right, so
We are getting to
all right, Matt.
This is
only because I know you're gonna be mad if we don't do it.
Okay,
Oh,
we'll
they
go
just
next.
put beer in their glass.
we'll drink. We'll let it
All right,
settle
so
down and we can talk a little bit.
we're gonna talk for a second, and then we're gonna do a rinse because.
We're moving on to our stouts. Favorite time of the show.
And this bad boy is from Pax Verum out of Lapel.
Yep.
John, why don't you go ahead and do the honors since you picked it up? Ooh, by the way, it's bottle number 37 at 200.
Yes. Yeah. So this was a limited release, as he just said. 200 bottles. They had a pre-order. Pax Verum is out of Lapel, Indiana. I was fortunate that went in and got 2 of them. And really, honestly, for a barrel-aged stout, it wasn't super expensive. It's $22.
A bottle.
Yeah.
That's not as bad as I expected for that style of bottle.
Yeah, and normally for a brewery who's normally super expensive, just anyway. So I was super impressed by the
That's
price.
actually cheaper than half their fucking beer.
Yeah.
I love Pax Verum, but damn!
Yeah, they're expensive. But yeah, out of Lapel, they're not my favorite indie area brewery, but they're gonna be top 10, maybe top 5.
I don't know if I'd put top 5, but I definitely probably right now put them in my top 10.
Yeah. I mean, they're a real solid.
And
group of
Indy
guys
area
out
is a
there.
little bit of a stretch, but
Yeah.
Lapel's decent outside of Indy. But
Yeah. But yeah, and point being is that, I mean, it's a solid brewery. They actually do not do RO water,
no,
so they just use the water straight from Lapel, Indiana.
they say it hits what they're looking for.
Yep.
And we've talked about it on the show before and on the radio show, but 75% of your beer is based on the water, if not more. You can doctor water all you want, but if you have shitty water, it's shitty water. That's why a lot of breweries, because we have shitty water in Indiana, use RO water. That reverse osmosis helps clear everything out. But
Yeah, it just strips the water down, and then you add in.
whatever it is you think you need to add.
Yeah.
Lapel, evidently, according to Pax Verum, has God's gift of water.
The water profile.
They
they're
literally,
looking for.
they tested it, was like, this is exactly what we fucking want. I'm more of the thoughts of Flint, Michigan probably said that one time too, but
Too soon?
hashtag too soon.
I mean, it's like Dominican water, right? Dominican.
Don't drink that water.
But yeah,
do
I
a
think
lot
they
of
do a
things there.
really, really solid job. So I'm excited to try this one.
I'm gonna go ahead and start peeling the wax.
Perfect. I got a notification today, a questionnaire about how comfortable people are with beer festivals this year.
I've gotten a couple of those already.
So we might be looking at a year where we don't have beer festivals.
I responded with, I'm very fucking comfortable, let's do it. But that's also because, well, I'm me, and if I'm going to die, I'm probably going to die of something else anyways. Might as well do it drunk.
Realize Tyler died the way he lived, drunk.
Matt, we are.
Matt, if I die before I'm 40, I want that on my headstone. That's your job. Here lies Tyler. Died the way he lived.
Need a nice
Drunk.
Also,
No.
threw in a good
I had to
website
find
here. Dragon Bandito kind of sounds like it would go great with the reverse grip.
Oh.
Oh.
Kind of does.
I mean, wine and dine me first.
Spatula. They're in enough grip on this.
spatula.
They're in enough grip on this, John.
Let's go.
Gunner, give your your dojo.
No, hold on. I'm letting John do the spatula.
We haven't had spatula.
We haven't had our original bottle opener out in a while.
Spatular.
Spatula.
I got the wax off if you can't find it.
Wax off.
Wax on, wax off.
I can't find it.
All right. I tried.
I got excited.
Our original bottle opener was a spatula with beer caps on it.
Damn
And
it. Failed.
it's all right. I didn't give you much warning. But when I got this as a 2-month early birthday gift, I have been using it ever since. Mostly because, I mean, I'm a baseball guy. So having a fucking baseball bat handle as your bottle opener is fucking amazing.
So I'm going to get into a little bit on this
It's
as far
open. Be
as
careful. Talk about it.
it is not a Russian Imperial Stout.
Nope.
A lot of the barrel aged stuff we get is Russian Imperials or oatmeal stouts. It's a milk stout, and
And it's not bourbon barrel.
it's not bourbon barrel. So we've had some barrel aged milk stouts from other places where the body of the milk stout isn't quite thick enough to handle the aging.
Typically, those are ones that are lower ABV. So like 5.5, 5.6,
Right.
5.7. This one's in the 7s. It's a 7.5. It's rum barrel aged from Hotel Tango whiskey rum barrels. Or whiskey. Hotel Tango rum barrels. Whew, don't know why I threw the word whiskey in there.
Because whiskey's good.
Yeah, that's it. It's what's in my mind. But no, it's it's a local distillery to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Military owned. Really cool. So
I'm anxious to taste it. I hope that they pulled this off.
and as Pete told us last week, branded barrels means they basically paid somebody.
Yeah.
Although Hotel Tango probably let them have them just at what they
Probably.
basically they
It's probably
bought,
a collab.
They bought the barrels and was like, you buy the barrels at not a premium and put our name on it.
Yeah.
Gunner, you gonna give your dojo a shout out?
Oh yeah, my dojang actually, because it's Korean. Muncie Mudo Kwan Martial Arts USA. It's where I've been practicing Taekwondo, Judo, and Hapkido for it's about 10 years now. Be 10 years in September. So
What color belt are you?
I am a 3rd degree black belt.
Can we coordinate like a Corey versus Gunner thing?
Corey kick his ass. Sorry, Gunner.
Oh, all right. So.
Savage would kick all our asses. That's beside the point.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Gunner's really good, man.
I believe it. Especially when you're doing that much shit. You got a nice mix of abilities at that point.
Do you watch UFC fights?
I have, yes. Not so much like regularly, no.
Okay. There was some good fights on Saturday, so I don't know.
Is there anyone watching the event at something like that, or is it completely like? Just
Actually, so
like
they
WWF where
had
they're,
no crowd.
yelling and pointing to the crowd that's not there?
Dude, that was hilarious
Yeah,
when
no
they did
crowd.
SmackDown and literally they're
No
like
one.
pointing and yelling at the crowd and there's nobody fucking there.
I mean, you gotta give it to them for performance. I mean, like, all right, hey, they're sticking to
I
it.
mean, that's all wwrestling, professional wrestling is. It's
When
performance. so.
Stone Cold was like, "Give me a hell yeah!"
Just complete silence.
Well, and the funny thing is, my favorite part is knowing Stone Cold. He probably had not planned on saying that. He was probably just
just
going to
he
be
got
like,
into it.
hell yeah. And then he got into it, did his normal, and then it was like, fuck, nobody's here. What? Like, fuck it. I already look like a dumbass. I might as well have fun with it.
Smashes 2 beers and drinks.
Stone Cold's by far one of my favorites,
favorite,
just because he is such a fucking character.
Oh,
He's
my
done different TV shows and stuff as well now, and everything he's on, you're just kind of like,
Broken Skull.
every time you look at him, you're just kind of like, I would like to party with you.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, two of the beers actually, because I got 2 of them that are coming in that expensive place I got
yeah,
it from.
did you get it?
It's the Stone Cold beer. So
Nice.
our Trejo Cerveza shirts supposedly are coming.
Nice.
They finally responded to me and they were like, "Oh yeah, you fell through the cracks," and I'm like, "You're the one that messaged me to tell me I was a winner, dumbass."
That must have been a big
Dude, the
crack.
Jimmy Buffett dude.
Oh, land shark.
Yeah, dude.
Land shark.
Go away. Anyway, so John, you ready to drink?
I am.
The smell
I'm
has
just
been killing me.
Yeah, it's,
Ooh, smells like rum.
Ooh, body's good.
yeah.
Pretty much what I expected, especially for a non-imperial.
Right.
A little thicker than I expected, actually.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, it's not thin. It's not heavy, but it's not thin.
Wow.
So it's closer to Gunner size instead of mine.
Yeah. Gonna
Anyway.
That's funny.
Self-deprecating humor, it's the best kind.
It's all we got.
When you're built like me, you got like 3 options. 1 is make fun of yourself. 2 is listen to everyone else make fun of you. And
Make
3
fun of
is...
me.
well, that's part of step 1. And 3, I haven't found that one yet.
Find a weaker target.
Find
A weaker target.
That's why I'm here every week. That's why you invited me back.
Dude, I don't want to hear it. You give me as much shit as I give you.
Huh.
So, on the topic of barrel aging beers, I think there's been a big.
You
thing
put
about all
them in
this-
barrels.
Well, no, I mean, like all of this, like bourbon. Like this one's aged in rum. I've had some other ones that have been aged in tequila.
I've
What do
had...
we think about like the different types of barrel aging?
They
You guys have
definitely
opinions?
all give their own flavor profiles. And some beers I very much am... So, for instance, Scarlet Lane, one of my favorite breweries, does a gin barrel for their Asteria, which is their... no, it's Laughing Water. Their Australians, their sparkling Australian that they make. And then they also have a gin barrel aged version. And it is a lot of gin. But it blends very well. It's a light-bodied beer. That gin comes out. Tastes fantastic. Now, for like a stout, I don't want a gin barrel aged stout.
Yeah, it's got to be a brown party liquor to put stout into.
The only one I would be curious about would be doing tequila with it. Stouts with tequila, I'd be curious. I don't know if it'd work, but I'd be curious.
I mean,
We've had bourbon, we've had rum, we've had tequila, I've had gin, cognac. That's a big ass barrel, by the way. My fat ass can fit in a cognac barrel. I mean, I'd have to squat down, obviously, but
Cognacs are in bigger barrels.
yeah, they're big motherfuckers. I got one at. Oh, by the way, I have one at Books and Brews Mothership. If you'd like to buy it, I will not ship.
Local pickup only.
Yeah. But shameless plug. But my favorites are gonna typically be bourbon barrel. I'm not a huge sweet fan, and rum really brings sweetness out, and this beer is no exception. But tequila I've enjoyed too, based on the style. I had a lager in Florida, aged in tequila barrels.
Okay.
And then they threw habaneros in.
I was just saying, tequila age
they added,
should have some habaneros.
They literally threw habaneros in a lager in a tequila barrel aged. Dude, I don't remember going home to the hotel that night.
Not good, huh?
Oh, I enjoyed it, but I like spicy shit. John, what about you? What's your barrel aging preference?
I think in general, I like my favorite beer is a bourbon barrel aged Russian barrel stout. That's where it's at. I think it's interesting to, much like when you smoke meat, the
Smoke meat.
first little bit of time frame. So smoking meat, first hour or two, with barrel aging the first 2-3 months.
Yeah.
That's where most of the flavor is imparted. And it helps if the barrel is a fresh. You don't want to have a barrel sit and dry out.
No.
So it's the fresher the barrel it is, the sooner you can put into it is definitely going to help with those flavors. But yeah, I'm a bourbon barrel aged Russian barrel stout guy.
Anything? Do you like bourbon barrel aged or anything like that? Any barrel aged beers?
I do like bourbon barrel and whiskey barrel. I've tried some with Tiny over at Flat 12 and then also at Books and Brews. Now this, I do like rum as a liquor, like mixed drink or just even sometimes just to sip on. But this, it has a good taste. It almost kind of reminds me of a coffee flavor. Really, it's really weird, but it's good. And the rum accents it really nicely. So.
What about you, Matt? What would your beer preference?
That's actually part of why I was asking, because stouts and whiskey are two of my things that I can transfuse my blood with. But
I like tequila a lot
See,
in barrels.
I don't really like any other liquor. Like rum tears me up because the spices in it give me heartburn too bad. I can't drink it.
That's fair.
And whenever I've had Kraken, all 4 times I blacked out. So I'm like, this is not my party liquor.
Got to watch out for Kraken.
Yeah, no, it'll sneak up on you and then you'll black out. And then tequila is just disgusting. I literally have an involuntary regurgitation reaction to it. Like it goes down, it comes right back up. I can't help it because tequila's nasty. So bourbon is the one that I love. But so trying this being a rum barrel aged, I was honestly a little bit apprehensive. But trying it, it's actually really good. It's got a nice balance. It's a little, I said that sweetness that it brings to it. I was afraid it's going to be more of that spicy, rummy flavor, which I'm not getting. So I'm really pleased with that personally.
Getting the sweetness from the rum without the over
Is
spice.
that caramel rum?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's a nice surprise out of this for me, and that would kind of promote me more to looking at trying more rum stout or rum aged stouts personally. Or I'd like to see some cognac ones too. Actually, do we have one that was cognac?
We did one. It was our cognac aged Beerded Guard. It was the Journey to the Center of the Earth. It was a cognac aged Beerded Guard by Books and Brews. And it was 14.5% of heaven. Beerded Guards are a very rich, liquor-y kind of beer anyways. And then you age them in cognac, which is a very liquor, sweet, not sweet, but just, it's boozy. A very boozy liquor. And it comes out, it was tasty. It was good. It's the only cognac aged beer I've ever had, though.
I think with this beer, Matt said the word, and I think the word describes it perfectly. It's balanced.
Very.
It's not thick. It's not thin. It's not boozy. It's not too sweet. It is a little sweet, but it's just really well balanced.
Yeah, it's not overly sweet. I can drink this. I was worried a milk stout in a rum barrel.
Yeah.
So you take rum, which I don't like because of the sweetness. You take a milk stout, which sometimes for me can be hit or miss because of sweetness. And I'm sitting there going,
double sweet.
Oh, shit.
I was thinking of a pastry stout. And he just.
Oh, dude, I had flashbacks of pastry stouts.
I still got a crowler of that.
What was that damn thing?
The whoopee.
Oh, God. Diabetes.
Diabetes.
We need to get a hold of Sun King.
Diabetes.
We need to get a hold of Sun King and tell
we need to hold
him,
Will for Brindley.
you need to
have him make another commercial.
You need to get rid of the whoopee name, and it will be the diabetes.
I can get a 6th of that if you want.
No. Oh, God. It was drinking pure fucking sugar. I swear to God, they just took a fucking sugar cube that was this fucking big and went
So it was a half a Tyler.
half a Tyler sugar cube and just go, all right, each keg gets one. What do you mean? When we're brewing this, we have to decide, we have to put enough sugar that each keg gets this much sugar.
Yeah,
It's like, do you want sugar in this beer? Yes.
Do you want sugar? Do you want beer in this sugar? That's the way to say it.
No,
I want beer in this
I think I
sugar.
said the Ron Swanson approach. Like, I want all the sugar. I think you said I want a lot of sugar. No, I said I want all the sugar.
Still one of my favorite parts of that show.
Can I also ask too on the topic of like barrel stuff? Because now I'm curious for my education here. All right, typically I feel like you get additional alcohol boost percentage ABV wise when you're doing that, but you said this was like 7% or something, right? So this
7.5.
Well, a milk stout is typically brewed around, like, to be around 5 to 6.
Yeah.
Okay,
So the
I'm
barrel
gonna try
probably gave it a little boost, and it depends on the barrel. It depends on how fresh the barrel is.
Probably a point and a half.
There is a point to a point and a half, like, average that a beer
that was
soaks
kind
from
of
the
a bigger
barrel.
question, like what's that?
I believe it's like 0.75 to 1.5 technically is like the
Yeah.
range, but most are like 1 to 1.5 is typically what people go with.
So I was under the impression it would be a bigger boost than that. Actually, I mean that's not that that's a small, but
No, because just like, and anybody who drinks whiskey, for instance, has heard of the Angel's Share, the whiskey that's soaked into the staves. You're mostly getting the flavor from that, not the alcohol, and that's the alcohol still stays in the staves for the most part. So that's why it's only bumping a little bit, because you're only getting a small percentage of that to pull back out. There's a whole lot of work that has to be done to extrude the Angel Share out of that. So just putting beer in, it's not going to do that. You're just going to get more what's still towards the surface to seep back in. Because basically what will happen is the beer soaks into the wood.
right.
And when it does that, sometimes it'll push some of the whiskey back out. At least as my understanding, in the couple times I've been down into the hills of Kentucky, but no, and I've gone down there and I've asked like, oh, hey, I work for a brewery. How the fuck does this work? And they're like, oh, well, and that's kind of the bullshit answer they give me.
Love it. So you want to rate it?
Oh, yeah, we haven't done that. It's just good. I'm enjoying sipping
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
It's definitely a sipping beer. You can sit down and just chill.
I'd see Charlie do the chug challenge with this.
Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Do you want me to go home tonight? I have to work tomorrow.
I'd throw up doing that.
I probably would. Yeah.
I think that there's just too much going on.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I have
that's
less.
too thick.
I think I have
Yeah.
less likelihood throwing up at 64 ounces of a Pilsner than I do
22 ounces of
22 ounces of...
It's like trying to chug chocolate.
tasty.
Oh, it tastes amazing, but...
Yeah. So what would be your rating? I want you to go first.
No, of course you do.
He's a giver.
I'm going to go... Man, that's hard.
Right?
I'm going to give it a 3.5. I think I'm really happy with it, and I think I will look for it, but not necessarily search it out. More that I'm going to be in the lapel area, and I heard they have a couple bottles.
Yeah.
I'm 10 minutes away. I'm 15 minutes away. Sure. But I'm not going to be like, you know what? If I could drive to Scarlet Lane and drink just my normal favorites, or drive here to get this particular beer,
I think that's fair.
I think I'm going to... That's why I'm going to go 3.5.
Gunner.
I would say probably a 3.25. It tastes great. I love it the way it is, but I really probably wouldn't go out of my way to go get it. You know, there's a closer option. But if someone I knew had it, I would definitely go over and be like, hell yeah, we're drinking that.
I was a 3.5. That's where I was at.
So a 3.5 is our average. We've got really consistent between the two of us, and that's creepy as shit.
Yeah.
When we
The stars
fir-
have aligned.
Well, when we first started the show, John and I were very... It's not that we were like a long way away, but it was more... Out of the 3 scores, one of us would be the high end, whichever one who liked the beer the most, and one would be the very low end.
Right.
It was never consistently together. Now it's like, we're here and someone else is here. Or vice versa.
Yeah.
Is that because your palates have changed or become...
Well, his changes every fucking week, so...
Mine's on it today. I'm picking up different flavors. That
Yeah, you are
the
on top of it
banana, the
today.
bubble gum.
John's smell
today.
and taste literally changes every week. There's times where Matt and I are like, you're not picking this up? He's like, no.
Nope.
And then other times he's like, motherfuckers, I picked it up first. And it just all depends on that day.
Yep.
I know what never really changes with him.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
his
still
love
mad
for
at you.
Jaeger.
I'm
should be.
still mad at you
That's
over
fine.
Mean Della Cream.
Fine.
One thing that never changes with him though is his love for Jaeger.
Oh yeah.
Indeed.
He does.
I
You
agree
both
with that.
love
Yeah, we
Jaeger.
both like
You
Jaeger.
both love Jaeger.
Man, I threw up a little bit in my mouth right there. Oh.
Yeah.
I would
If
say
we're talking about a 32-ounce chug challenge,
Do some Jaeger.
And that's how the show became the One Bearded Guy. All right. So,
I am legend in this neighborhood. Just want you to
For
know.
Jaeger.
I'm gonna call you Will Smith.
I am legend. Yes, call me Will Smith.
You are Will Smith.
Real quick too, it's been a while since anyone's said anything. I'm assuming we still have some people watching. If anyone's on there, say hi. Give me something to do besides drink. Well, not that I don't like drinking, but I can participate.
Yeah, like
give a shout out.
Hit that like button.
Smash that
subscribe.
like button. If you have questions, I've been asking the questions because I'm just curious. So anyone else wants to know some
yeah.
stuff?
Don't forget, now that we aren't using Instagram, we can't see you log on. So join and be like, "What up?"
What up, bitches? I have arrived.
Yeah, or just if you have a question, Matt's been on top of it with questions today, but we're always happy to answer your questions. The main reason we
Except
enjoy
Steve.
doing this show,
We
'cause
like the
could,
interaction.
we could just drink and hang out and not worry about y'all, but we like getting to know you. We've gotten to know some people very well now, and are people that I consider friends, and I've never
Yeah.
actually seen face to face.
Yeah, never actually seen him face to face.
I've never met
I would
Russell.
call them
I've
friends.
never met Helen, and
I haven't
could-
taken this off since I got it. Russell made me a best friend bracelet.
I caught mine on.
I mean,
I caught mine on something at work, and it like cut the shit out of me, and I ended up having to cut it off.
well,
But yeah, it cut like the fuck out of my hand.
yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm done. It was cool as shit though, Russ.
Yeah.
Because I know you, and you will go back and watch this. But we've made some cool, good beer fella. I've gotten to know him decently. Backyard beer chick.
Good
I
big
was saying
chick.
Jennifer just gave away,
Yeah,
so she's
yeah.
still on.
Yes.
Jennifer is awesome. Don't worry, be happy.
Yep. Yeah, it was just.
Crafty cleavage.
No, I don't talk to Crafty Double D's. I actually do talk to once in a while. Yeah.
Remember a couple 2 weeks ago, my buddy Evan from high school.
Great.
Oh yeah.
He reached out.
You haven't talked to
I'll
him in
send you
forever.
I haven't seen him since high school.
Crafty cleavage.
And we're gonna go up. We're gonna go up to Lafayette this week because Taze River is opening back
Yeah,
up. So
we're
I'm gonna go up and
hoping
grab some beer and talk to Evan.
we're hoping to get there Thursday. That'd be
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But it's really funny because like this, we've talked about it before. This has kind of exploded on us a little bit, and
Phrasing.
no, I meant it when I
Reverse
said it. No, that's after reverse grip.
Oh,
It kind of after reverse gripped on us, and we got our
gotta try
merch
it.
now.
You
We got our
gotta try
website
Say in
now.
his face,
Here's
you
like a
know.
stranger.
We now have our first sponsor
Get it
that
in your eye.
next Monday we'll have our ad on. And it's we're just
Yeah.
you know he gave us a little money to throw his logo up on our website and Facebook and all that kind of stuff, and we're trying to have a little fun with this. Now our dream would for this to be our jobs.
Imagine.
In all
Can you
honesty,
imagine?
if John and I could make a living doing this, we would both quit everything we're doing immediately, and this would be our jobs. Right now, and half the reason we do plan this stuff 5 minutes out before the show is because it's not our jobs and we have other shit to do.
Imagine
But
how great this show would be if we had all the advertisers and all the people buying merch.
and all the time,
And all the sponsors like breweries.
Yes.
Uber.
And Taver.
Uber and Taver. Breweries are cool. I need an Uber and Taver.
Taver, please. Good Lord.
Give us a code or something.
Uber, I just need a discount code
Yeah, we need
for my
discount
guests.
codes.
I want to be able to send my guests home safer.
Right.
All right, so our next beer has a really cool can, and after I pour
Hey,
it, I'll
Beer
show
Life
you.
Helen, are you watching?
She was on earlier. I know.
Okay, because your Donkey Kong without the penis, that label that you were talking about, this is the same brewery.
Oh,
Donkey Kong without.
Oh,
a penis?
yeah. forgot about that. Yeah.
There's a label. I had this like Donkey
it's
Kong
a child's
character.
video game, John. Did Donkey Kong ever have a
Hey,
penis?
Helen,
He had a necktie.
tell Matt about it. I don't have to talk. Tell Matt about it.
all right. So this is by Hoof Hearted Brewing. It's called the American Solera. It's American Solera. That's living outside the fire. Double mashed imperial stout with vanilla. It is a 12%er. We
Well done.
finally jumped up tonight.
Oh yeah.
Drink fresh and at 46 degrees, which we're probably
Probably.
slightly warmer, but not that far off.
The label is
I'll
cheesy
show
and
it in a
awesome.
second. Don't worry. Brewed and canned by Hoof Hearted. I'm excited for it.
This is another one from Cons. I saw it on there and I was just like, that sounds
Oh, that
delicious.
pours like fucking motor oil.
Look at that.
Look at that.
That's thick.
Where's your glass? I'm going to do this one.
Yeah, buddy.
That's a thick.
I know where you're going with that.
That is straight up motor oil.
I'm excited.
Oh, what?
This is our style.
Back in my Ball State days in Muncie, I remember at the Herat they had what was called Old Engine Oil, and it came out just thick.
Maddie, I gave you a little more than I gave me. Be proud.
I will definitely ingest that.
I like you, brother.
Todd, if you're still
That was
there,
on. That was on it.
if I don't wake up for work, you'll know
The
why.
internet heard that. Tyler likes me.
Do you work with Todd?
Yeah, he's a driver at Lowe's delivery, and
Yeah, you're not seeing him tomorrow.
Yeah. If I
Uh,
don't show up for work tomorrow, this is why.
no, we had somebody ask us one day, how many beers do you guys drink? And I'm like, anywhere between 6 and 13.
Right.
Now, in all fairness, that's usually split between 4 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That evens out.
Oh, speaking of which, we could have given you a seltzer today, I guess, or something.
I got seltzers.
Well, I gotta have the mouthfeel for possibly a clarinet later.
Oh, good lord.
Cameron wants to play his clarinet.
Cameron wants to play your clarinet.
Hell no. That's all you, man.
Oh,
You're the host.
Happy birthday, Tyler.
so here's the thing.
Is
Is that why you brought Cameron? Alright, so this
Oh my
can
god.
this can's really interesting. So it has a shirtless dude playing an arcade game. Lower. Perfect. So, and then another dude that's wearing Daisy Dukes riding a mechanical bull.
So it's Matthew McConaughey at different points in his life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because the arcade game looked like it was like,
Except for the arcade
Dazed and
game,
Confused.
he's definitely a
Yes,
little
thank
bigger.
you.
He's a little heavier than Matthew's ever been, with a lot more moles on the back.
I don't know. Did you ever see him in that Gold movie? He was pretty chunky there.
That's true. That's
Oh,
true.
boys.
Matthew, my God, I'm gay.
Oh, boys.
Wow.
It's,
I've never heard that.
You've never heard that? Matthew, my God, I'm gay.
Nope. That's new. That's new for me.
Ooh, that's solid.
Yeah, that's.
that's a heavy one.
It's
Oh,
not-
there's a lot going on in that beer, and it is very thick.
The only thing missing is graham cracker, and you got a s'more.
Hey, John. Hey, John.
Hey, that's a bit viscous.
Teeing it up.
I got that one. Yes.
Just watching Tyler take a drink of it, like looking at your glass, the whole bottom of your glass was still coated in
It's
brown.
rich. It's a rich, thick, smooth, though.
Yeah.
Well, not smooth, soft. Rich, thick, soft mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Hashtag mouthfeel. But no,
What is that T-shirt?
it's coming,
Working on it.
actually. We have a viscous and a mouthfeel shirt both coming. I like how I said coming after mouthfeel.
But
Reverse grip.
Hashtag reverse grip.
Don't
and that's what
forget
happened.
that.
That's
Drop
what
it in
I'm
the comments.
Drop in the comments. If you'd like to know the story behind reverse grip,
Listen.
make a comment. Ask. If you ask, we'll make Cameron tell you.
Yes. Ask what is reverse grip. Cameron will tell.
Cam will get his 15 minutes.
Oh no, he doesn't get on the camera for it. He's speaking from over there.
So if you were to make the best cup of hot cocoa, put a bunch of marshmallows in it,
And some alcohol.
and then let it, cool down, that's what this is.
It's
It's
solid.
chocolatey. It's vanilla.
It's a little more boozy than I expected. I mean, at 12%, you're expecting
I
boozy,
would
but
disagree at 12.
no, I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm saying that initial taste didn't give it to me. The very first sip, I was like, "Ooh, sweet."
This is Swiss Miss with those damn mini marshmallows.
But then that second taste, I got a little more booze. Third taste, I got a little more booze. But you're not wrong. It's very much a rich chocolate milk with marshmallows. And somebody went, "You think anybody will notice if I put a little?" Like straight up,
Vodka.
somebody's making it, and all of a sudden went, "Oh damn!" Grandpa's stash got poured in. It's fine.
Ending.
It's kind of like dark, like Ghirardelli dark chocolate square. Let that melt in your mouth. Have a mallow in there with it.
Look at the bottom of that
It is
glass.
good. That's why I was saying, like, when you took a drink, I just marveled at how
God.
cascading of tan it was on the bottom. Like, this is really, really good.
God, look at the side of my glass from how long I said it that way.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I want.
I'm not mad at this at all.
No.
Who is this again?
This is Hoof Hearted.
And they are from...
That's the brewing company. No.
Well, no, I mean, they are located in...
I know. I'm just trying to figure... I was trying to stall for a second.
Oh.
North Haven, Connecticut.
Huh.
I was trying to stall briefly by being clever, but I didn't find it quite quick enough. Yeah. Mostly because their location is in that size font.
I can't read that
Oh
shit.
my god. That is like, I don't know, 7 font?
John. Under, yeah.
What?
That's like 7 or below font size.
And it's a black background and like
Yellow color.
I was trying to stall thinking I'd find it faster.
And then you
Lord.
Here, you look at it yourself,
Need a
Matt.
magnifying glass. Find it.
Not the first time I heard that. Damn it.
Self-deprecating humor.
Is that why they call you Tiny?
You guys gave me the name. You tell me.
I didn't give it to you, man. You were tiny.
Hey, that's why you married such a small woman.
Oh.
Dang.
Oh, God. 2 points, John. That was good.
I wanted to call you Tom. That was good, man.
Yeah, another point gunner.
Woo! Hour 2.
Yeah, North Haven, Connecticut. It's right there, guys.
Yeah, tiny as shit, isn't
Needed
it?
a magnifying glass to find it.
Maybe I'm just used to looking at small things.
Everybody's just fucking like, ooh, they're on one today.
I think
Great.
it's this.
The grades. John, I will let you go first, mostly because your reaction when you first started, oh boy.
Yeah. Damn it.
While you're...
Am I going to search this out? Am I going to search it out?
Yeah, what was this, like a Tabor thing, or how did this come
This
about?
was cons.
Cons? Oh, really?
Yep. So
Matt
this
just
was
got
me.
happy.
This was me being upset that I didn't get the turtle cheesecake. But I saw this on there. I was like, oh, that sounds good.
Matt's literally over there sitting there going,
The funny thing is, like, I looked on there when I couldn't get that either, because I was like, well, let's see what else they got when I did an order, like, around that time, and I was like, well, let's just peruse the stouts, and I clicked on the stout, and it didn't have that many things listed, so I guess I was
So actually,
hard enough.
so for those watching, if you're in the area, Cons Fine Wine and Spirits is probably one of the, other than Stoney's liquor store, the biggest craft beer liquor store in the area. You're going to find a lot of different specialty beers.
If only I had boobs, that would be amazing.
But if you follow them on Twitter, shout out Cons on Twitter, every time they add a new beer, they add it to Untapped and it gets posted to Twitter. So actually, I saw them add this to Untapped and what they carry.
I'm not mad about it.
So
Very neat place.
yeah. So I'm gonna go 3.75. Delicious. I don't know why I wouldn't necessarily search it out, so I could be wrong, but 3.75.
I'm going to give it an even 4. I will probably get on Con's website and see if they still have it. Now, I'm not saying I would drive a couple hours for it. That's why it's only a 4. Because Con's is close enough, I can get it on the website and drive there. But I'm going to put it as a 4 because I pass like 6 liquor stores going from home to work. So, like, if I'm also having to look for another one, that's why I'm giving it the 4. But it's
solid.
honestly, we're probably not being fair to it. We've probably given other stouts a higher grade that probably this is better than.
I think that's where I'm at. Is like, if from a stout perspective, it's a barrel-aged imperial stout with cocoa and vanilla. And I feel like I've had a couple that I like more, but it's fucking delicious.
Yeah. I'm happy with it. I'm going to give it a 4. What about you, Gunna?
Well, I would say it's probably a 3.5 for me.
What a bitch.
It's not my style of beer, to be honest. But I do like the taste, and if it was offered to me, I would definitely drink it because who wants to turn down free beer if it's offered to you?
God, I knew I liked you.
I do like the taste of it. It does remind me of,
Well, when he's
hot
back on, we're
chocolate,
gonna have,
marshmallows, and some
the best
vanilla
idea
or
in
something like
Alabama.
that. And the more I drink it, the more I sip on it, the more booze I
Platform
can
seltzer.
taste. And it's like, At first, it was the chocolate, the marshmallows, and the vanilla, and then it was just like alcohol. Just on top.
Do we have any platform seltzer cold right now?
I don't think so.
I was going to say, I think for overtime, that would be a perfect thing. He was talking about booze in front of me and try it and, like, take it. I want to see his reaction to that shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't think... That's something I would be like, somebody... Man, I really need a drink. Oh, I got this. No, I'm good. The best IPA in Alabama, if we had more of that.
I'm really, like I
just
said,
sounds
I'm
like
trying to Nick Cage on it. I want to seek that out now, just so we can have it as a novelty, and I can try it again, because it wasn't as bad as I think it was. I don't know.
It was bad.
It's like, Drive Angry or Face Off. Like, I remember liking them, but are they that bad?
So what was our score?
375.
375. So the score for that was 375, which disappoints me slightly more in John than anything.
I wavered back and forth. I was going between 4 and 375.
I mean, it would have been a 375 even if you given it a 4, but...
I find myself in the same boat as John, where, like, I think it's really, really good, but I feel like I have had others that I would prefer over this. I can't think off the top of my head one specific.
The ones that popped into my head weren't necessarily this style, but, like, Freedom's Imperial is still better to me.
Yeah.
Their base Imperial, which, I mean, it's one...
Shadowproof. If you did a chocolate vanilla shadowproof, it would be better than this.
Maybe, if they did it right, maybe. Now, there's been a couple. Freedom's the one that's really sticking out in my mind. Yeah. So when I was grading it, I was more going, is it better than this? No. Okay. And I think I gave Freedom like a 4 or 5 or something.
That's our top, I think
it's our top stout.
Top stout, yeah.
It was a base in Russian.
Yeah, not even a variant.
Like,
delicious.
But yeah, no, I'm really happy with the lineup we've had today. I mean, the Justin Blaber we knew would suck.
Also, is that
and it wasn't as bad as we thought.
Huh?
Is that Cowboy Rock and Reverse Grip?
No, he's more, so Reverse Grip's this direction. He's more holding on like shaft holes.
So
like,
I need to teach Matt how to throw up like some questions, like poll questions. Because I mean, hey, guys, tell us, because this is Cowboy doing Reverse Grip.
One thing I've been talking to my buddy about, the one that's going to be on in July, Jared, who does the lime lighting, all the video stuff. What he has suggested is for us to invest in a second camera.
Okay.
So right now, basically, whenever I'm wanting to show off a label or something, it's like, boo-doo-doo-doo. And he also has found now this is down the road a little bit, but he's also found like a board that'll be really easy for Matt to literally be like, if I'm wanting to show off a camera or a can, I set it in front of the camera, and Matt hits the button, and it's only the camera on camera.
Nice.
And then he hits another one, and it comes back to the main.
I'd say maybe at that angle, depending on the guest, perhaps their nipples might be included as well.
Yes.
But you
just make sure it's good nipple day. I'm just going
where were you going with this?
Sitting here at table high.
So if Tess is on, we're going to have to put it on a different...
Is that where you're going?
You got to put like a card back behind the camera.
But you get what I'm saying. Like he has a few things that like he's been watching, because he goes back and watches every episode.
Yeah, just on this side of the camera, I'm thinking of troubleshooting ahead of time.
And Tyler, he's the one that said it, motherfucker. But he's came up with a few ideas that we're going to kind of look into, and I know this is brainstorming on camera again, but it's more, I want to tell you guys that we're always trying to make a better show for you.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I brought it up.
Like the human race, constantly trying to evolve.
Because we make this shit up as we go.
Absolutely. So, but it's always more within the mind of how do we make it better for you. If we didn't give a shit about you guys, we'd still be shooting it on John's phone.
Or Tyler's phone.
Yeah, whoever it was that day.
Yeah.
With no mic, no bullshit.
Yeah.
But we want you to enjoy it. We appreciate you guys
I've
watching.
got a nice DSLR camera, and I looked to see if I could utilize it as a webcam, and it's old enough I cannot. But I did try. I tried. I'm always searching.
I came really close to buying a really expensive camera not that long ago.
Yeah.
I decided to get a new house to rent instead. But I came really close to buying a very expensive camera that I probably would have regretted buying right now, at least until especially that first rent was due.
Yeah.
It was like $700. Anyway, but we thank you guys. We appreciate it. This is the end of hour 2.
Yeah. We're gonna go to our Be back soon, screen, because we might do an extended pour.
Odds are we'll come back at least briefly for an extended pour. Might have a beer, whether it's a graded beer or not, it's probably irrelevant. But we'll drink some Nancy or Pachanga or whatever the hell we have in the fridge and shoot the shit and all that good stuff. So
not get clarinet.
I'm gonna leave that up to you. We love you guys. Thank you for watching. As always, I am TBG_ops guy.
I am Mudhog B&Q.
And I'm Gunner Master.
And behind the camera, the one, the only, off screen, Matt. Thank y'all.
We are Two Beerded Guys.
First group.
What up, guys? This is Extended Pours. We are actually going to do one official beer during Extended Pours today, only because, A, we've drank such low ABV beers that this might be the most sober John and I have ever been at this
Yeah,
point.
I was sitting there thinking, I'm just like,
Yeah, no, we need
You're not
some
fucked
shit.
up enough.
this is different.
Like, I had 2 beers the entire weekend. One was on Friday night, one was last night, because I went home to see my mom. So I needed beer because I needed alcohol because lack thereof, and because I went to see my mom. And then today was just like fucking Monday, so it's like,
And like normally, if we're not drinking heavy beers, John and I will throw in some whiskey shots. And even today, like, we truly have not done.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
it feels weird. Like I am still.
So I was digging through the fridge just more out of curiosity and was like, oh shit, yep, we're doing this.
Yeah, I did forget. This is
So this is the Imperial IPA called Son of Malice. Plus it says drink fresh, so I wanted to drink it now before, it's that much longer. It's progressive ales for the promiscuous palate. It is 8.7% and 95 IBU.
So this is sent from Russell.
Yep,
in
Russell
Washington.
Hecubus Owens.
Yep.
It's from Vancouver, Washington. Heathen Brewing Company. I'm pretty excited. It's a simple logo, but they do well with the fonts. They kind of change it up to draw your attention.
all Jews can tell that really easily because look at the back of the bottle.
No, I was talking,
There we go.
Well, I was talking to them, but it's a simple
No one's
logo.
watching.
It's a blank old bottle.
Simple logo.
People watch hour 2 and then they watch the shit show. Like, let's be honest.
Now, I looked at the numbers recently. We had the most viewership during hour 1.
Really?
Yeah, I was shocked too.
Huh.
I think it's more because our diehard viewers watch during our hour 1, and then they're like,
They
"Dude,
stay.
Reverse group.
you have a long ass show. Like, I gotta go."
That's fair.
I got adult shit to do.
Although last week was 50-50, and I think it was only because of the goddamn foreigners on Twitch that joined us.
Yes.
We
Miss you
introduced
guys.
people that didn't know each other in a foreign country.
They became best friends.
I feel kind of cool about that, person. I don't know about you
We
guys.
had a guy in Sweden and a guy in Germany
I think, yeah.
that had never met. They
they were
both started
talking-
watching the show, and they were communicating with us, but then started communicating with each other over
Via
Twitch
Twitch.
comments.
Oh yeah.
And like we're
we're
talking the whole
catalysts.
episode, and they would like show like randomly throw out shit for us too. Like, and they watched for like an hour and a half because they watched the end of hour 2 and then all of hour 3.
Yeah.
Um,
It was pretty cool.
it was hilarious.
Yeah.
You guys got hacked.
That was a good moment.
You guys got hacked.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm excited to try this. I'm hoping it's better than the bullshit stout he had us
The
try.
churro stout.
Is this the same brewery or a different
No.
one?
No, different brewery.
I was a little apprehensive.
Is that a
there.
churro stout?
Dude, if
Yeah.
it
Full
was
on
the
churro.
Yeah.
well, it was supposed to be.
Supposed to be. It didn't turn out
Didn't
that
work
way.
out.
No,
Damn. I do like a good churro.
that's what we were thinking.
Yeah, you know what? If I'm looking at beer and I see churro stout, I'm like, fuck, I'm interested. That
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah, churro is always good.
When Russell said that, he goes, "Oh man, I thought this would be good," and I sent it to you before I tried it. He goes, "It was already in the mail when I tried mine," and was like, "Oh,
Liquid disappointment.
they are not going to be happy." It was pretty much his thoughts. But it was free, so we were still happy.
Oh, yeah.
Never refuse free beer because your favorite
Well-
brand is always cold and free.
Well, and especially when you pay as much for beer as we do for this show.
You'll take whatever you can get.
Freeze your favorite pour letter.
John and I have spent. a lot
If
of
we
money.
make the LLC,
Oh, we're operating
we're going to
at
have
loss.
some good losses.
Yes. That's the best part is we're hoping to finish our LLC paperwork, and we're laughing because tax wise, sometimes that can bite you in the ass owning a business, depending on if you make
Yeah.
any money or whatever. John and I are like, we're good. If anything, the government's going to feel bad for us because we're straight up operating
they'll
at
have
a
some-
real bad loss.
They'll have some pity upon you.
Dude, we're not
Yeah.
even going to hit you on your personal taxes. Why? Dude, your business sucks.
Worst business people ever.
Hey, that might be like a tax write-off. This might
Oh,
be a good thing for you
dude,
guys.
we can even put him as an
financial
employee.
Yeah.
He's an
Matt
employee
is
and we
employee.
pay nothing.
No,
$0.
what we do is we pay him in whatever the beer cost was. Stop
Write it
it.
off as beer costs.
So I'm a pretty crafty tax guy. Like, he's a beer drinker too. I actually a couple years ago at Chris Green's birthday party, he had it at Scarlet Lane. He just happened to stroll in. I'm like, oh hey, what's up, Tax Tim? And yeah, we drank.
Very
So there had
citrusy.
Eric
Ooh.
Blood Axe. And that was the year they had the Sour Patch Kid.
Oh, yeah.
beer.
Yes, I
That
remember
was,
that one.
oh my god, that was so fucking good. I wish they'd make that again. I would go. That would be a 5 out of 5. I would go buy all
lot of
of it
citrus
that they
in that.
had.
I liked it, but I could only have one.
Well, Blood Axe for me is a 5 out of 5.
Oh.
So the Sour Patch would not be a 5 out of 5.
Oh god,
But
I would drink the entire.
it was
keg.
good, but
I would buy the keg, bring it here, and put it in John's fridge.
you can put it in mine. I'll always take free fridge. Fridge beer. Free fridge beer.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be living close to me. Sold.
Hey, don't worry. I'll always have a keg of whatever you want.
When are
You
you
just
moving in
go over
anyway?
next weekend.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. This
Wait,
beer,
when we're brewing?
huh?
When we're brewing, or like this coming weekend?
This coming weekend.
So confusing.
So this
Well,
beer.
you just said earlier. Well, I hear next weekend.
So this beer. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
It smells very tangerine.
There is a lot of fruit.
It's very citrus.
There definitely a ton of citrusy fruits.
Whoa.
I wonder if they put the hops
Tangerine.
on here.
Orange.
So actually, they have was malt 2-row. What are you doing? Oh, looking for music.
Trying to play music.
Vienna, Carafoam, pale wheat, dextrose, but then the hops: Warrior, Chinook, which I love Chinook hops, Cascade, Centennial, Simcoe, Citra, and Amarillo. So you got a couple more citrusy hops in there.
Can we
Yeah.
talk about warrior hops for a second? That sounds badass.
I don't know anything about Warrior
Why
hops.
doesn't more people use warrior hops?
I have no idea what that's.
I've not heard of Warrior.
They come
Hops.
from the sun.
I know a lot of. Well, it's all of us actually going back to work during Corona.
They created Dojin. Did I say it right?
No, Dojong, right?
Dojong.
Ah,
Because it's Korean.
Dojong.
I-
Japanese
I almost
is
had
dojo.
it. I almost had it.
I remembered. Holy shit! I was listening.
Yeah, there
I thought
you
you-
go.
I thought
You're
you-
learning
Jonathan!
Korean.
You've not had enough to drink yet.
Yeah, I thought you
Learning
told me your brain
Korean
cells
right
away. I
here
just remembered
on Two
something.
Bearded Guys.
Oh, speaking of which, Matt just made fun of me for having a poor memory because of drinking it away. I actually was talking to someone recently, and I'm like, she goes, "Oh, I'm on my way to get coffee or whatever," and I'm like, "Oh, nitro cold brew, right?" And she goes, "You remembered?" And I'm like, because she mentioned it like one time. Like, I actually pay attention sometimes. But in all honesty, in my own head, I'm going, how the fuck did I remember that?
Drunken recall.
It was probably something she told me while drunk, and I was probably drunk when she said it again. It just,
Yep.
That's fucking Rick.
but it was just one of
Nailed
those
it,
like,
John.
it was just one of those like, but it just cracked
Been
me
there.
up. It just cracked me up because I just said it and didn't even realize I was saying it. So, but anyway, this beer, there is a lot of citrusy. It's
super soft mouthfeel.
I literally was taking one. I always take a sip before I talk about the math. I hate you.
Was that a cross of like Letterkenny and Tyler?
Yes. Thank you.
Also, we
Super
got
soft.
Yo Himbo 1 on Twitch.
God.
What up, yo?
Himbo.
Do you know him?
No, I do not.
Oh, well, you sounded very.
No, it's because Cameron said yo, and I was like,
Oh.
oh, yo.
But yeah, like
Thank
oddly
you.
enough, Yo Himba is asking the same question that was posed earlier. Looks like 3 bearded guys.
So,
There
yo,
was always a third. They were lying to
And
you.
then he said, actually, now 4. My beard is longer than any of yours.
good for you, yo.
I appreciate
So,
Challenge laid down. It's like.
so
on the
yo,
table.
our
That
the
wasn't his beard.
the show is John and I, and my beard was longer than this. Long story there. Basically, I fucked
He
it up.
fucked up.
Yeah,
You can say it's a long story with a short story. He nicked it. He had to trim it down.
I fucked it up. But we always have a guest on. Sometimes they're bearded, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're female. Sometimes they're bearded females. We don't know.
We haven't had that yet, but I would like to see that. Just in
But
live
so
person. It's
we
like-
are the on-air personalities that created this, and then whoever's
They
sitting
are
in the middle is the guest.
I guess, yeah.
And then the guy that's randomly talking shit about both of us behind the camera is our producer off-screen, Matt.
I don't think I warrant that title.
Hashtag dish bitch.
Yeah,
That's my favorite part
dish bitch.
is to say like producer and then dish bitch in the same
That's
description.
the first time we got producer laid on me.
No, John's used it
Technical
before.
director.
Yeah,
You gotta-
I've heard
you
like
gotta get
tech
him a
guy,
nameplate.
you know,
Dish-
man behind the
No,
keyboard.
it's you make him a nameplate that says producer, like that's his title,
Slash.
and then it just says his name is hashtag dish bitch.
Exactly.
But anyway,
my t-shirt.
let's go ahead and we'll talk about this beer, finish this beer up, and then we'll go into the normal third hour just bullshitting.
Yeah. So with this beer and thank you for tuning in. Basically, we like to rate beers. We drink beers. We rate beers. We'll give our tasting notes.
You said rate, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making
Sorry.
sure. You said it real quick, and I got a little worried you
did.
said something else.
Tyler,
Yeah.
we are rating the willing. Okay.
Yes.
Oh god.
Yes.
Hi, Tab. She joined. So, is anyone really surprised that Tyler fucked up?
I love. This is how it always works with you and I.
Tab! You're not 21. Go away. Actually, we love
She's
you,
a
Tab.
viewer. Keep watching.
We love you, Tab. Thanks for coming in again. Although, seriously, how is it I'm the one that gets blamed for fucking... I mean, this time it was me, obviously. But in general, you and I together, John fucks up, Tyler's fault. Tyler fucks up, Tyler's fault.
I'm just that
Somebody
guy.
else fucks up and John's supervising, Tyler's fault. Somehow it's always Tyler's fault.
Oh,
It's good to be me.
My favorite's when I don't even know what's going
air
on.
about him.
There's been times I've gotten yelled at and been legitimately in a meeting looking at John like,
You gotta step up here?
no,
Yeah.
I wasn't even there. Do you want to, like...
I wasn't even
Like,
there.
this is me going, I don't even know what... This is something you were overseeing. I don't know what's going on. John's sitting there going...
He's just going, go, you do you, Bo.
A heart just floated across the room.
That had
One
to...
solitary heart.
That absolutely came from
Cheers
Tabby.
to that one.
That absolutely came from Tabby. I know it did.
Which, there was a time after I said that there was like a school of thumbs going through the screen, like
Yeah.
2 seconds later, it was like... It was like a wave. Like it over-encumbered the school with a wave.
I think that's the best part of the new
Wave
missions I've
or
done.
wave?
A wave.
I love that. I wish I could see it.
Oh, it's actually, it's kind of like...
If you
know,
rewatch it, it shows.
It's like being at Deer Creek. You can watch the stage or you can watch the screen. It's much better watching the screen right here.
Yeah. I can appreciate that.
But anyway, do you have anything to say about this beer?
It's very citrusy. It's got a good body to it. It's not too heavy, and it, that said, it's not very overpowering either. So I could sip this
For
easily.
an 8.7% beer,
Yeah.
it drinks very light.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would guess that.
It's a little sweet,
Yep.
but Imperial IPAs typically are, depending on what's in them. But they typically will have like a little sweetness to them. I think it's more to hide a little of the hoppiness.
Yeah.
But it, man, I'll tell you what, for 8.7, it drinks
Dude,
easy.
Yeah, this is trouble.
If
Like,
I-
I'm taking my time on it because I knew what the percentage was, and we're going to keep drinking. I'm probably going to drink my Cafe Dev here in a minute.
Yo.
So I'm kind of like,
Mine's already open.
yeah, I'm basically like, I already know what I have planned. I already know what I have planned, so I'm kind of taking my sweet time.
I don't try to get through this so I can get to that.
But this is tasty. Matt, you're not an IPA guy. What do you think about it?
This is one that is easy to put down. It's the percentage it's at. It's sneaky. I wouldn't have guessed it. It's where it is. That kind of alters my opinion of it a little bit. I would say being slightly nitpicky though, the orange flavor to me almost seems a little artificial orange flavored.
Okay.
Kind of like even like Sunkist has that. It's orangish, but it's not orange.
I wasn't quite getting that, but I kind of get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
That's not really my only complaint, and it's very orange heavy. They could have dialed it back a smidge, and that might have fixed both the problems for me. And then, again, I'm kind of nitpicking more than
That's fair.
So before we rate, I'm going to read the little blurb I missed because it kind of blends in a
It
weird
does.
way.
It looks like the government.
I thought it was the government bullshit. So a full-bodied malt backbone, dangerously which the malts is that sweetness,
Yep.
balances the hops until the bitter finish kicks in and leaves a hoppy residue that you can scrape off with your teeth. That's a weird
Way to describe that.
Well, that looks like a period. It's not. I think it's a blemish in the. But it literally says that you can scrape. So I literally did the pause and then was like, oh wait, no.
No. That is a misprint. That is a period.
Is it a period?
Yes, it is. That's a misprint.
Well, somebody edited real bad.
You need to hire better copy editors.
Tyler.
I made this.
Tyler.
I made this.
Yep.
You need a copy editor. That's a period, bro.
That's what John's here for. This IPA, because it's an Imperial, has a sinister agenda that is best served at 50 degrees with... I'm great at reading words, but I don't know that word.
Okay.
Malveance? Malevolence?
Malevolence.
Yeah, malevolence. There we go.
Yes.
What's the definition?
Words are hard. Today's been a wordy day.
Malevolence, yeah.
Malevolence
Normally,
is like
there's
ill
not
intent.
many words that fuck me up while reading, and
You're a big Disney person.
But you said you wrote
Maleficence?
this. You said
But
that
it's
you
spelled
wrote this
different.
description.
That's still I think it's this one's still in my
I
head.
don't know. Yeah, we weren't wrong with what we were saying. I have no clue what that fucking word
But
means.
didn't you say you wrote
And
this
we're
description?
30-year-old men.
You don't know. But
I type shit, alright? Leave me alone.
Some
Did
of
you
us aren't
just
30
go to a
until tomorrow.
thesaurus and you were like,
Almost.
I just started throwing
what is
I opened up a thesaurus and was just like, that word.
malevolence? Yeah. What is
I was looking
it
for it
to
up.
evil? Malevolence. Yeah, put that
Well,
in there.
on this conversation, Tab says, I just want to say Tyler is one of the very few people that I can roast and not feel bad about it. Laughy cry face.
I'm
laughy,
somewhat
cry
okay
face.
with that. A little confused if it's an insult or a compliment. But
Yes.
love you, Tab.
Yes.
We do truly appreciate you being on the watching the show and giving me shit.
Just being like you, like it's awesome. And I
Very
appreciate
few
that.
people are themselves like you are, so we appreciate it.
And she is so authentic. Like I love reading her posts.
Oh, yeah.
When she's just like,
Did she just go on a
her
rant?
no. She has her good days, but then something bad will happen, and so she'll post and she'll be like, okay, this is how my day went, and she'll list like the bad stuff that happened, and then she'll list all the good stuff that happens, and inevitably, like she says, like the good stuff is way more than the bad stuff. And she's like, wait, my day wasn't that bad.
Tab's
and
not
it's an
the-
amazing, like,
Wow,
I
that's
just
a
love
good
it.
outlook.
For one,
Yeah.
she's more transparent on social media than most, and she also understands that one bad moment doesn't defeat a good day. And even if it did at the moment while she's typing out her day, you can tell I started typing this out. I've had a shitty day.
Yeah,
because
I feel real shitty.
But then as she's typing it, it's like, actually, I've had a pretty fucking good day. Like,
Yeah, like it's just awesome.
and you don't get that, especially.
Well, there's something cathartic, too, about just like,
and,
typing
and
or writing
Tab,
out
this isn't
something.
meant to insult you, but you don't get that from a younger person very often. Especially someone under 21. Like, usually
Angsty
it's
teenager.
usually it's that like.
The angsty teenager.
Well, she's not that. I mean,
But-
Tab's
But that's
what,
the
19 or
normal
20?
teenager.
Tab's
yeah,
20.
I think so.
But it's just that like
Almost there.
typically at that age, it's a bad
It's so
moment
close to being
definitely
that fun
ruins it.
legally.
Because even at
Yeah.
30, a bad moment fucking.
Yeah, I have something bad happens. I'm like, fuck this day, I'm done.
No, in general, a lot of times you can recover,
Put a lid
but
on it. This
there's
day's
a lot of
Yeah.
times where John and I, hell, we worked together long enough to know that there was times a bad moment. And it was like, fuck this shit.
I'm gonna go to bed and we'll just restart. It's fine.
Yeah.
So would you it'd be like noon, you go to bed, like, fuck this, it's done. Go to
Yep.
sleep, wake up like an hour or two later, like, okay, new day, let's get back at
Okay,
it.
let's go. Yeah, I might have done that before. So yeah, Tab is really cool.
We love Tab.
Before we start on the new beers,
Oh, we're
Tyler,
not doing any new beers.
Well,
We're just drinking
move
and
on
chit
to the
chat.
next beer. Are we going to rate the last beer?
We do.
I was just getting a beer out to drink.
I know, but before
Yeah,
you do that and taint your
drink.
palate,
Hey, and also when it says Justin flashes his Ested Gade eyes, like that's a town in Denmark. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. It's a street in Denmark. I don't know what that word fucking means.
That is the street in Copenhagen.
All right, so
Copenhagen.
whatever the fuck they were saying. I'm going to give the last beer Son of Malice. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I think the orange was artificial, but maybe just too much, which is what made it feel artificial. I'm going to go a 3.2. I'm going to go 3.25.
Tab loves you guys as well.
John?
That was a-
Just as there's a pause there.
she does. I'll go 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
it's
afraid
good.
I was going to be the high end.
No, I think it's a good Imperial IPA. It's not bitter at all. Like I'm getting no hot bitterness.
For 95 IBU.
Right. This is like what we were saying. 95 IBU. I would expect this to be super fucking bitter.
But IBU, and we've talked about it on the show,
Now I'm
can
glad
be
I asked that earlier.
very,
Now I know.
very deceptive. Eric Bloodaxe is 100.
Is it?
Yeah. Eric Bloodaxe is 100.
Yeah.
But their Blood Orange and the Honey knocks that.
See, I thought that's very misleading. Like then,
IBU, typically, lower IBU, less bitter, and less... Stouts are different because you can get the malt, coffee,
that's why I stay
roasty
in my
bitters.
lane. I know what I'm getting with
But,
stout.
but like non-stouts, Low IBU, less bitter. High IBU, more bitter.
There's no
But-
way. There's no way I'm sitting there and being, boy, that's 95 IBU. There's no fucking way. 95 IBU is almost you can't taste anymore than that.
But there's other beers that are 80 IBU, and you're like,
Yeah. So they did
hops,
an amazing
hops,
job.
all the hops.
I'm not gonna go search it out, but it's a damn solid beer.
Yeah. So what'd you give it again?
3.5.
Okay. And what about you, Gunner?
You know, like I said earlier, I'm not a big IPA guy, but this would be an IPA that I would enjoy going to get. So I'd say somewhere 3.75 easily for me.
Nice.
I enjoyed it. The hoppiness wasn't too overpowering, and it wasn't too bitter, wasn't too sweet. It was just the right taste, and I enjoyed the orange flavor and the citrus flavor too.
The one nice thing about it, even if you were on the fence, so like I was anywhere between a 3 and a 3.5 at one point in time. No matter what realm you end up on this beer, it's an 8.7%.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a solid drinkable, because it didn't feel like 8.7.
No.
Drinkable beer that'll get you fucked up, especially in a 22-ounce bottle.
Let's go.
So this beer will get you fucked up,
But you'll enjoy it.
and you won't notice it until you go to do something. It's one of those where you're like, you're drinking with your buddies around the fire, you're having a good time, you go to stand up and go,
Wait a minute.
I'm going to stay right where I'm at. Because any of us who've ever hung around with your friends around a bonfire, whether you're on camera, Matt, dipshit, the other two, any of us, we've all had that moment where you've sat there for a while, you've drank, and if you're just drinking light beers, you may have a mountain beside you, or you've had something higher ABV, whether it's whiskey, beer, anything, and everything's gone down smooth, and you go to stand up and go,
Wait.
because sitting down, you're fine. You haven't done anything. You got to stand up. You're like, oh shit! This is a beer.
the world.
This is a beer that very truly, you could be sitting there by the fire and go to stand up and go, I'm gonna stay right. I don't have to be that bad.
Listen, Russell,
It
as
is
you watch
very
next time,
Yeah.
Russell, pub beer is awesome, but this so far the best beer you've sent us.
Yeah, pub beer is the best for the money.
Yeah.
Unless this is dirt cheap, and if it's dirt cheap, send more. We'll pay for shipping.
Yeah.
But pub beer is best bang for your buck that you've sent us. This is probably the best flavor.
This makes up for the churro.
This makes up for the churro. That nasty ass bullshit.
Yeah, this is delicious.
And we thank you, brother. Nothing like having a friend send you beer from Washington. Like,
yeah.
that doesn't happen every day. Especially because for those of you watching, and we shout out Helen and Russell a lot. Part of it's because we've become friends with them. So
Yeah. Legit.
But the big thing is, like, Russell watched the very first episode Two Beerded Guys ever did as Two Beerded Guys. He had never seen us. We made our Instagram Two Beerded Guys. He happened to be flipping through, like, basically
The hashtags.
those you may like, and he started off with hashtags, like somebody's page, and if you like somebody, it kind of pops up like similar people.
Yeah.
And Two Beerded Guys popped up. He just kind of went, yeah,
What hashtags you guys put on that magical list?
beer.
Touche.
But
Common
we're
hash.
not dumb. We narrow it and we widen it. But he
Doing the same thing.
no, narrow is this way, widen is this way. So we'll throw beer, which is this direction, and then we'll throw like bearded
I'm
drinkers.
trying to figure out how to work reverse grip in there somehow. Trying.
But no, so
I don't think it would
Russell,
fit, John.
our very first show as Two Bearded
Maybe if it
Guys.
was wider.
So our probably fourth episode, because we did 3 non-Two Bearded Guys.
Yeah.
So our very first Two Bearded
Including
Guys,
your beards.
we legitimately,
They were just two guys.
we were talking like, and all of a sudden we get this, hey, could I send you beer from Washington? And John and I are both like,
Yes,
Yes.
wait, hold on, this is our first episode. We shouldn't have a fan yet. Like, and then I'd gotten to know Beer Life Helen from my personal account a while earlier into that, and she watched an episode or 2 of the non-Two Bearded Guys, and then has been either a diehard watcher or communicator with us since.
Yeah.
There's a reason we partnered with Beer Life Official. Technically, before they announced, John and I posted like the 2 first chugs for the
Yeah.
Beer Life Official Chug Challenge.
Yeah, we did.
I think we had the 2 first chugs, if I remember right.
I was a big fan of that garage door chug. That was something to be.
Did you see my 32 ounce
It was
at all?
interesting, but I
I
think
did
it
not
was.
see
Oh, I gotta show you the 32
I got to
ounce.
see that
Yeah,
one though.
so-
I would like to see that.
So the garage door chug, I'm glad I
He's
did
not
it.
flexible enough for that shit.
But there's two
He did a
things.
good attempt though. That was
You
creative.
know, like a
as
fish
hell.
chasing a worm that wasn't getting it.
Yeah. That's,
Well, my favorite's he's leaning back, but his neck's only like here. He's like,
yeah. And there's a chance that beer's gonna go up your nose.
our owner at Books at
I
Brews.
applaud the effort. Just poor excuse.
Yeah, that was,
It's not even
that
your
was
fault. It's
really
really hard to do.
something that I wouldn't think would be something to be done.
It's
Yeah.
gotten really popular, and that's how John got the idea. It's become a big TikTok thing, or it was for a little bit. But it was really funny because our owner's a huge TikTok guy, and we at Books and Brews, and
What do
we,
people say? My owner, not my my
the
boss
owner
or
of the company I work for.
Yeah,
the
I'm
people-
Like, my owner. I'm like, we're past the slave days, my friend.
Well, anybody that's watching now probably knows, except the one random Twitch watcher. But the owner of Books and Brews, I was talking to him one day, and he goes, "Man, I saw you guys are more active on TikTok," and we had like a 4-day span where everything we did went on TikTok, basically. And one of the videos was John's, and he goes, and John used to work for Books and Brews, and then technically does again now. He goes, John's not flexible enough for that garage door. I didn't even bring it up. He legitimately, because he mentioned he like goes, and did you really do a half growler? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, and then like, well, at first it was, did you really do a half growler? Yeah. And John's not flexible enough for the garage door. And I'm like, nah. Because you could tell everything it took was to get him to here. And it was like,
Can't go anymore. That's what it is.
It was just hilarious.
it was fun. And he timed the music perfectly. John worked hard to get that
I did.
right as it started to pour. Run!
Alright, so how many attempts did it take you to get that just right?
So you
here's
timed
thing.
the music
Here's thing.
to the video.
Yeah, so I just made the video.
Okay.
And then when you put it on TikTok, like you choose a song, and then you can edit where the song starts and stops.
See, I don't use TikTok. I am.
We never had either. We just recently started learning this shit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We've done one true TikTok video.
Yeah. There's another one I want to do. Save the song.
There's another one I want to do that we might do tonight because it's fun.
Yeah.
But one was, do you want to build a snowman? From Frozen.
Yeah.
And it goes, do you want to start drinking? Because it starts off with a knock, right?
Yeah.
And I'm literally sitting on the ground next to the keyser right here. And it goes, and I knock, do you want to start drinking? There's nothing else to do. We don't really have to go to work. And there was literally nothing else to do. But like during one of the like little pauses, I literally pour beer out of the keyser, keep singing, and then down it at the end.
That's great.
we had fun.
Yeah.
And it only took us 2 tries.
Yeah.
That's the impressive part. Actually.
Well, the first one, it wasn't even because that one was one I needed the music to know when to voice.
Yeah.
Because certain TikTok videos, like, to do it right, you truly need the background with it. Because you're just mouthing along.
Yeah.
So, like, the first one, I'd heard it before. First was my first attempt. And I was a little more off. Plus, the video did something weird. Like, we were just a hair off. And I'm like, all right, second try. John hit it, and it was, do you want to start drinking? And it literally worked out right. Like, there's like one part that's just slightly off. John and I were really happy with it. And we laughed our ass off. We were also really drunk that night. So
Typically, it's
that
what
might
we
have been
expect.
why we laughed so hard. Because that was the first Pete night, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. It was after Pete left.
Yeah, we had a lot of whiskey.
We had a lot of beer and whiskey.
Oh, man.
we had a lot of ABV strong beers.
Yeah, we had
whiskey.
strong ABVs plus we sampled
I think we had at least 3 whiskeys.
4 that night.
Yeah.
That was a good night.
Good night.
All right, so Mudhog, do you have anything else you want to add before we shut down hour 3?
Well, I'm getting ready to finish up his pour so he can chug.
That's right.
So yeah, we'll go in a little bit. So no, I think I do want to do a TikTok video later tonight. So go to TikTok if you're on there. Two Beerded Guys. We should have a new video coming soon. It should be fun.
Possibly 2, because I think I have one as well.
Okay, yeah, that'll be fun. Hour 3 extended pour time frame is just kind of we shoot the shit. It's nothing official. We're just having fun. So
Today was one of the first official ones we've done in a couple weeks. Because we used to try to do official beers during it too, but we realized that was a terrible life choice.
I don't know. Today it feels like it would have been a good life choice.
Well, today doing it made sense.
Yeah, we had enough light beer.
We were actually responsible.
we were relatively sober.
Yeah, and I
Like,
think
we're
John had-
responsible because you don't leave.
There was
like,
a lot of administrative things that happened today. Since we had like the lower quantity of beers and the lower ABV of beers.
Like last week, we had one beer underneath 8%. This week, we only had one above.
I know, and that makes me sad.
Two
Two now with the
2 now.
Yeah.
It makes me very sad in the pants. There was only 2 8% pluses.
No glass.
Yeah, it's a big frowny face down there.
Big frowny face. Down in your pants.
Yeah.
As always, Uber, if you want to give us a discount thing for our friends to go home with in the future, let us know.
It would actually be the gentlemanly thing to give a 2-way discount Uber code.
Exactly.
That way you can get 2 and fro.
Fuck them.
Just saying.
Yeah.
They get free beer.
If they're feeling very generous, the Uber people.
No, fuck you.
I'm talking about
But,
Uber. What
I mean,
this is gonna do
only one problem with that: my car's still outside.
Exactly.
No.
I'm saying like the 2-way Uber fare would be like the
Well,
really gentlemanly
you
thing
guys
to
drove a
do.
little further. And most of the time, our people are in the area.
Yeah. that
So,
makes
like,
sense.
Tessa, for instance, the episode she was here, she
Right around the
definitely
corner.
had to Uber home.
Yeah.
She Ubered home and just, at some point in time the next day, Ubered back and got her car.
Yeah.
Because an Uber's a whole lot cheaper than a Dewey.
That's true.
True.
But yeah, that's kind of one of those. We really would love to get like an Uber discount code, and we're hoping to get to the point where we have enough followers we can actually start like. Because right now we shout them out; they're not watching, obviously. But we would love to like
Yeah, we're not on there.
eventually get enough followers to like
We
start
haven't been on the air for a
Just-
little
Yeah,
while.
have that Uber
to
money.
start
what's
tagging them,
Uber money.
to start randomly tagging them like,
Yeah.
hey bro,
Hit me up, bro.
hey bro, I bet you don't actually do that many Ubers in the middle of Noblesville area. Like, bet I can make you more money.
Make you more money.
No, my buddy David over in Muncie, he's been Ubering for about 2 or 3 years now, and he actually has like a light up sign in his
Oh, yeah.
fucking windshield. He hits it and it lights up Uber and it like scrolls.
Okay, so Gunner's got a pint of Pachanga, the Mexican
That's not a
lager
pint.
from Sun King.
There's a lot of head.
Yeah, well,
It's at least 12
We do what
ounces.
we can,
which
we
is
do
a
what we
big
can.
That's,
You'll be alright.
that's more head than Cameron got in Dominican.
but before you start, basically, he's got to do a chug for Beer Life Official.
For who?
Beer Life
Life
Official.
Official.
Are you going to record this on your phone so we can post it to Instagram?
That's what I'm pulling
Okay.
up.
Okay. So, for every
Helen.
video that you post on Instagram showing you chugging a beer,
Did you
drinking
just
a
wink at
beer.
me? I haven't even started the
Oh,
video.
wow. and the
Yeah, he meant to
tag
do that too.
Beer Life Official, they're going to donate $1 to
No,
first
it's not Chinese
responders.
eyes.
So it's a great way to do what you always do because you're all a bunch of fucking drunks. I know you. But
too.
raise
Right,
money.
judgmental.
So no judgmental at all. Like
We're all drunk.
There's a reason we're friends.
We all like beer.
All right.
But yeah.
Bottoms
so,
up, Gunner.
Bottoms up.
Bonsai.
God, you suck.
Oh god.
Hourglass.
There it goes. There it went. There it went.
Hey!
Guys
Hey!
don't work for a good cause. You gotta chastising him. Side note, Tab
Oh,
said
and who are you gonna call out?
To do it?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I will see, let's call out our buddy Hector Quiles.
Nice.
At
Nice.
Guitar Demon 18 on Instagram.
And
And
we need another point of view.
another point. Alright, yeah, Cameron.
Yeah,
Cameron
okay.
42 Worm on Instagram.
Seriously.
You do it too.
The quality of this camera phone
Pretty good.
is so much better.
So much better.
You
So we'll
want me to
post that. We'll
download
tag
it?
you.
That's just fun. Listening to John like try to describe this while looking this direction, but also knowing I'm recording. John's eyes
I'm like-
constantly were doing this.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
You want me to do
Other
it?
news, Tab Chambers said that she is also going to make a TikTok later.
Yay.
So watch
Do
out
we
for
follow
that,
Tabs?
guys.
I think we do.
And Good Bear Fella, he joined. He said he's up. What's up,
Hey.
buddy? He said sorry late, but here.
Now, can I say, you showing up late tonight. We actually gave you a shout out recently as one of our friends that we've met through here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tyler claimed you as a friend, so be
No,
careful.
we claim him as a friend we've met through Instagram. But we've gotten to know him a little bit. And it's been fun so far, and I've actually loved the beer community on Instagram a lot more than I really expected to. I created mine as a work thing originally, just kind of a
The beer community on Instagram is much better than the beer community on Facebook.
The beer community on Instagram's supportive as shit and fun. The beer community on Facebook's a bunch of angry little shits.
They are. They're like,
Buy all
fuck
the
you
fucking
all.
cheesecake beer.
Right?
It's
Them motherfuckers.
23 minutes it sold out.
On Facebook,
Not
it seems
that
like
I'm
everybody
still
tries to
sore
be.
about
And I swear to God, I checked
professional
2 minutes
to,
before their
like,
post.
I believe you. No,
a degree that
ironically,
is unreasonable.
Steph posted it on the beer
It's an older
snobs.
crowd, too.
She's the one that let the beer snobs know about it. Like,
Yeah.
damn it, Steph, why didn't you tell me?
Right.
You should have put me on the inside track. And then she's like, oh, I didn't know you wanted it. I'm like, God damn it.
70K.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But so she put it on there, and then she's like, well, sorry. I'm like, it's not your fault.
Like, don't...
John checked it right before you posted it. I checked it as soon as I saw it on my phone. Like, I was literally less than 20 minutes out from her posting it.
And basically, we're bitching and moaning because we missed out on
I don't care about that.
fucking turtle
I
cheesecake, Imperial Stout.
Oh, no, I care. I wanted to try the shit out of that beer.
Also,
damn
it.
we're going to have Jeremy. Everything about Facebook is trash.
What up, Jeremy?
Yeah, absolutely.
I hate Facebook.
trash.
It's
No.
a cesspool of scum and villainy.
For me,
Except for 8 people watching us on Facebook. We love
Thank you.
no, we love you guys. And we truly mean that. Anybody who watches this show, and we're both part of beer drinking groups on Facebook, and a lot of the guys are great,
Yeah.
and gals. But for some reason,
And guys that want to be girls, girls want to be guys.
Yeah,
You know,
all
we
the above.
embrace the whole
Yeah.
community. We want to put people in holes.
for some
Reverse grip.
for some reason though, I have noticed there are a lot more angry posts when it comes to the beer community on Facebook than there are on Instagram. The beer community on Facebook, it's like somebody makes even a slight gaffe.
Yeah,
And it's-
they're just
Everyone
ruthless.
fucking pounces.
Yeah.
Instagram, there'll be the handful of them that does, and then a bunch that are like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, well, you know why we're doing this for? We love beer, we love people.
And
we love
don't get me
community.
wrong, I make fun of 450 for occasional gas they've had, or I've...
No, you make fun of 450 perpetually.
Well, but at the same time, I'm also the same one that defends them for everything.
It's like the best
Oh.
IPA in Alabama, and then 450 North is like right
450 is
below
just
them on
fun because the mistakes they've made are like, you kind of do this. Like,
your Confused dog.
hold on,
Scott
let me
that.
put my pinky out a little bit while drinking because I'm confused. It's none of my business.
We're all confused right now.
Kermit the Frog drinking tea.
Oh,
There we go.
tea, but
Yeah.
that's none of my business.
Exactly. But at the same
So
time,
this is where I need
like
to be able to look up things and put them
Small-
on the line real quick.
small businesses, and as big as they are, they're still a small business.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna fuck up. It's
Oh, yeah.
it's just that way. So like I'll give them shit, and I do quite often. That's more just for airtime plugs, and it's fun. But John and I both also, when they had their big ABV scandal, was,
Oh yeah.
hey guys, like we're not there. Shut the fuck up. But it's those people that think they know everything. Those warriors that think they know beer more than
Craft beer warriors.
the
on
people
Facebook,
who
yeah.
actually make the beer.
Well, Tab threw out
snobby
like,
attitude.
she said that she feels the community on Instagram just in general is better than on Facebook, and
Seems to
I
be.
kind of wonder if that's the case. I'm not that active personally
On anything?
Instagram
Yeah.
or really anything, but I have a couple of groups I'm in on Facebook, and like even things that are not even in the beer community, other nerd groups that I'm in. Like, people just jump on and just, like, troll the fuck out of everything as soon as it hits.
Dude.
Like, you can just not do that and everybody be happier.
I will say, though, like,
I have a
because
chip in my
me
mug.
and Tiny are real into board gaming, and Cameron as well.
Same.
I'm part of the Axis and Allies group on Facebook.
I'm sorry.
It's awesome, actually.
Troll.
It's
Dude, you
not
just witness
like
live
no.
That's why we don't like Facebook.
Yeah.
People like you.
Live trolling.
It was
no,
fun.
but on that group, it's like it's full of people who love Axis and Allies as a
Nice.
franchise, and they like to play it, and they like to like set up games and play online.
Even better.
even.
Fuck yeah.
And everybody's like constantly posting like stuff that they do differently in their games, or way that they modify their games, or different games that are kind of like Axis and Allies, and everyone's like, "Hey, what do you want to do?" You know, and
That's
everybody
cool.
just has a conversation. Nobody
I-
is like, "No,
It
your
might
way
be-
is wrong."
It
and
might be a
fuck
beer
you.
thing then.
It might be like
That's
I
what,
know
like,
when we'll play
Some
Axis
of the
and
nerd, like,
Allies.
the Transformer group I'm in, like, some of them troll pretty hard.
Yeah.
When
Which,
we
like,
played Axis
you're
and
all uber
Allies.
nerds if we're talking about toys. Like, you can tone it down, chief.
Right?
Wow,
Yeah.
that's like when you and my fucking brother had a goddamn side conversation.
Oh, no, it runs deep. Like, Transformers is one of like, the hardest
We-
nerd groups.
we hooked
like,
up-
Subcultures.
We introduced my brother and Matt on this show about Transformers, and all of a sudden I see Matt laughing, and he's typing in response to someone on Facebook. I'm like, what are you doing?
typing?
I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, we're talking about Transformers. It's fine.
It runs deep, bro.
Well, like I know when we played over at Ross's, like we've gone live during different moments of that game to that Facebook group.
Yeah.
Really get
And they
into
tune
our
in, they
show.
make comments, and
Yeah.
it's
Pretty
awesome.
supportive
It
group.
might-
Can people place like drink bets on your game with each other while they're watching? Like,
Dude, I want to do it.
I have never seen them like gamble
I
on our
got
games.
5 shots on John.
no, go Gunner. Gunner's your best
No,
bet.
Gunner is
Matt,
like
I
5 to
retract
1.
that. 5 shots on Gunner.
Yes,
No,
yeah,
Matt,
I'm
next
like
time.
50.
I'm like a
15,000
shoe-in at this
I got an
point.
idea. Hold on, I got an idea. Next time they play, you and I should go and
And
literally,
just be the
while
audience.
live, we'll be the audience doing drink bets with the audience that
You're
watches.
gonna be the bookies,
I mean,
basically.
yeah.
You're gonna be
Well, no,
bookies taking-
but
the
we'll
drinking
also be
bookies.
betting. We'll also involve ourselves.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
No,
we'll take-
it's gonna be self-policing. I'll be drinking. Everyone else is gonna be watching online. Is gonna do their own policing.
Yeah.
I'm
But,
not gonna. I'm
but
not gonna
we're
be
gonna have a
drink
fucking
buddies.
blast. Like that would
yeah.
be. Matt and I just end up fucked up. Have no idea if anybody watching was drunk.
Yeah.
But we're.
Here's
We're
This
Case
announcement's
Tyler out
going
betting
on.
each other.
Man. Like,
So
yeah, these
Tabby.
fuckers, fuck these motherfuckers.
since
up.
you're probably the only one.
Mac,
watching
you're
it,
supposed to drink too.
Actually, my drinks are on Ross.
No.
Oh
No,
my
no.
god.
Okay.
Ross is his own fucking drink. He's like 8-star, alright.
Well, then the question is, am I betting to win or am I betting to get drunk? Who's winning then?
Fair point. Fair point.
Oh my god.
You either way.
I'm the guy
Ross
who's
is
good
attack.
at board games in
Period.
general,
Oh my God.
and I'll do okay. Gunner's the guy who sets up Axis and Allies and plays by himself for 3 weekends in a row.
Yeah, and
Duly
that's
noted.
why he wins.
Burn
That's
up.
why he wins.
He's the best bet. If you
5
want
to
to win.
1, 5 to 1, 15,000 to 1. That's their difference. Right?
So we're gonna go ahead and we'll cut it here.
Yeah, that's a good time.
We appreciate you guys staying tuned for hour 3 shit show and basically us just shooting the shit.
Rambling.
Yeah, we're rambling.
That's what we appreciate about you guys.
You're good people,
Yo, Tabby.
especially Tab. Love you, Tab. Good beer fellow, if you're still watching, thank you. Russell, Beer Life Helen, anybody, Jennifer, anybody who's been watching, we love you guys. Except my brother, fuck him.
I also like Tyler's mom. Hi, Sherry.
We all love my mom.
We all love
I
that.
see that.
I like her,
I'm
but
not
I like
going
her
that far.
already.
I'm not overstepping boundaries. I appreciate your mother.
Reverse grape.
Is it bad that I immediately, he goes, I'm not overstepping boundaries, and I just went,
Cameron.
Like, damn.
we all know Cameron's going to talk about something. But we love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for making this show fun.
Yeah.
We are Two Beerded Guys. I am TBG_Ops Guy.
Mudhog DQ.
Today's guest is
Gunner Masters.
behind the camera.
I'll scream Matt.
And again,
And
we are
off-screen kind
Fuck
of
him.
weird dude.
we are Two Beerded Guys. Thank you for watching episode 17. We love you guys. Peace.